Estatou. Es ist jetzt so, ne, du hast gemerkt, oh, es ist schon ganz schön schwer, aber das Spiel zwingt dich ja gerade eben nicht da zu bleiben und weiterzumachen, sondern es sagt dir, hey, du kannst ja alles andere auch vorher machen.
Das sieht schön aus. Guck dir das mal an. Das ist ja wunderschön. Ja, die Kulisse, die sah schon sehr, sehr schön aus.
Gott sei Dank. Endlich kann sie es ein bisschen genießen.
Helden der Allianz.
Das bist ja jetzt quasi auch
Mission
du,
ist es,
nur
Aschran einzunehmen
genau.
und die überall verstreuten Artefakte zu bergen.
Ich bin auch gespannt.
Also es ist jetzt immer noch nicht super leicht, aber
Feindgebiet vordringen,
leichter.
werden die anderen nach den Artefakten suchen.
Oh,
und
das kann auch
bevor die Horde
sehr gut.
es tut.
Jetzt ist er in der zweiten Phase.
Ich habe keine Ausdauer mehr.
Die auf dieser Insel
Soll ich falle?
nicht der Horde
Jetzt
überlassen.
musst du nur aufpassen, dass sie nicht kaputt geht, weil die zieht halt auf die Agro. Oh nein, jetzt ist sie weg. Naja, du schaffst ihn, du schaffst ihn.
Ja.
Jetzt, ein. Sehr gut. Und noch einmal. Yes! Geil!
Okay, aber ich muss sagen, es hat sich auch ein bisschen gecheatet angefühlt. Sagen wir mal, ich hätte das jetzt vorbereitet. Und ich hätte gesagt, nee, ich schaff den nicht und ich level jetzt erstmal und dann zurückzugehen und den dann zu legen, ist halt schon cool.
Das ist jetzt der erste richtige Dungeon. Der ist vielleicht ein bisschen größer als das, was du bis jetzt gesehen hast.
Der sieht aber auch richtig krass aus.
Sehe ich da Glänzen in den Augen? Sehe ich Glänzen in den Augen?
Vielleicht ein bisschen. Ja, okay. Ja. Okay. Ja, chill mal.
It seems like there's no real incentive to change or to go more into, like, let's say STEM fields if all the women fields are being paid an equal amount, if not extremely high.
Okay,
so, for
stop.
example, teaching is paid really high.
Stop. What is the ratio between, okay, they did a German study, 100 men, 100 women, they all tested the same on the IQ. What was the ratio of who quit first? What was the ratio? Please tell me. That's what I want to know.
I don't know what German study you're
Women give
referring
up
to.
before men. Women are emotional and they give up before men, and that's why in most cases, I'm going back on the study. Can I speak, please?
Let her speak.
1 second, one mic at a time. So while you spoke about those two studies from the college, Yale, whatever you spoke about, do you know why when they knew which gender it was that they chose men, even though that the women were higher qualified? Because y'all are emotional. We're emotional as and we speak with emotion, and we get hyped as men will continue the task until it's over.
Okay.
Women will give up when frustration comes through. It's very rare that a woman will finish.
I just want to point this out.
Emotional fuck.
And then you've been trying to talk for a minute too, right? Do you actually have something productive to say? Because if you're gonna just give a drunk statement like
I'm not even drunk.
I want you to
I have a question for
let her go.
I wrote, we are not equal, and I spelled equal wrong. Yeah, zoom in.
Yo, okay, we're gonna move it.
No, but for real, like, the point is, like, we're obviously not equal. Like, y'all bad, and y'all showing it right now. Y'all like, cause y'all emotional. Y'all gotta chill, and that's the whole point. Like, yes, they have some privilege that you guys are right about, because I gave a little example, kind of, but shorter. Y'all smart as fuck. Y'all know how to talk. Y'all got the studies and shit. But the point is, yes, we are not equal, and we are privileged. We're super blessed, and y'all just ungrateful. Like, chill. That's it.
Let's
change the subject. Let's talk about. Wait, I want to talk about something that's not so funny.
Yo, chill.
I want to ask a question.
We're gonna
to
let her
ladies.
finish her point. Go ahead.
I actually want to break down a previous point. People are acting as if emotion and logic are completely separate dichotomies. They're not, and I can prove it to you right now. If a car is going, I will. If a car is going at you 70 miles per hour, and you're standing in the middle of the road, what do you do?
My perspicacity means I'll backflip over that shit. What's up?
Wait, what she said?
That's what.
Okay, she said she'd backflip over the car.
And I will.
Backflip. The vast majority of people, when they see a car going 70 miles per hour at them, they run out of fear.
Who runs?
Right? So a lot of people would say, oh, that's an emotional response. Fear is an emotional response. But think about it. Historically speaking, why would you have that fear? Oh, because your brain knows automatically that if that car hits you, you die. That is a logical response. Emotions aren't completely separate from logic, and pretending it is just ignoring the reality of our emotions. If somebody is insulting you, making you feel bad, saying horrible shit to you, of course you're going to feel sad. That's an attack on you. That's not illogical. So this idea that emotions and logic
That's
are
not an
completely
emotional
separate.
response.
These are like defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they can secure your survival.
Literally.
The emotional response to a car coming at you would be doing what the deer does and just staying there and actually being paralyzed in fear, because fear is an emotion. The
Well, fight
logical
or flight,
response
right?
is running. Yeah, the emotional,
Flight
the
is
logical
also-
response is getting out of the way.
Flight is an emotion.
Okay, wait. I got a question. Have any of you ever been in that situation? Because I've been held at gunpoint. So wait. I've been held at gunpoint. What did you do? Because when I was held at gunpoint, bitch, I was sitting there stuck. I didn't run.
I didn't run.
So has a car come speeding at you and you just ran? Because it's very rare that a person
But you made the
actually
right
is able to stop.
choice.
That's why it's called
You're
ice
here
choice.
today.
Okay,
right?
listen, somebody died, so we're not gonna get into that. But at the end of the day, can I finish speaking? Can I finish speaking? Because this is the worst panel. Y'all keep speaking the one bitch is speaking. Like, you're emotional. Accept the fact, because every time I'm talking, you hear what you want to hear and you want to pitch in. Let me finish my sentence.
Yeah, because we let y'all
like,
talk.
here we go again.
No.
We let them talk.
Ladies.
Let one bitch talk at a time.
Lena, chill. Ladies.
Can we use another word other than bitch?
Ladies.
Yeah. Can I say something?
No, wait.
Ladies is nice.
Can we let each other speak? Okay, so how many of you at this table have been in a situation where they were held either at gunpoint or you've had a speeding car coming at you at 150,000 miles and you didn't do the fucking backflip? How many of you?
I didn't do it backwards.
One or two. Okay. So since you like to use the word anecdotal a lot, you have no experience, so why are you speaking on it? Come on.
Okay.
You're
Jesus
speaking on what you
Christ.
thought everybody else would do, but you've never even been in that experience. You don't have the anecdotal experience to speak on that. And I'm still speaking, and I'm still speaking, and I'm still speaking, and I'm still speaking. But it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, you've been
Did I
talking
finish my
this whole
sentence?
time.
Did I drop the mic? Did I drop the mic? I don't think so.
drop it.
I have a question. Can I ask a question? Lighten the mood up a little bit.
I think fundamentally, I think it's I don't want to say disingenuous, but I don't think that whether you stand there like a deer in the headlights or whether you run like hell when the car comes towards you, I don't think that impulse in that moment can be said to be logical. I think you can apply logic to it afterwards. You can say yes, it was
correct, British
obviously
guy.
it was logical because otherwise you're going to get killed by the car. But I think
it's an emotional response. You're relying on instinct.
The decision to run or stand there like a deer in the headlights is entirely emotional.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
she's saying the culmination of several instantaneous emotional decisions secured your survival in that sense.
Well,
and
you
that
can
is the
apply- you-
logical
Now,
choice.
involve that in solving a math quiz. Is that the same thing as solving a math quiz? No, you get frustrated and give up. Like, you can't think straight. Like, I was medicated on Adderall growing up. I know what it is I graduated when I was 14 years old. So it's not the same as getting almost ran over by a car. That's not the same emotion versus logic, because when I get frustrated as a woman and I'm not able to solve a problem, I'm getting frustrated. I can't even solve the problem till I'm calmed down later and I come back later non-emotional and I can solve the problem with logic.
We're
It's
using
not the
hypothetical
fucking same. You're
examples to
using
try
an
to isolate the
example.
variable.
You're using an example of a car speeding at you versus solving a math quiz. Like, come on.
all
It's
right,
not the
Zena,
same.
chill out. So, ladies, I think the takeaway here is that men are superior deductive problem solvers, especially in the face of pressure. If you don't believe me, this is why if you look at Formula 1 drivers, NASCAR drivers, professional chess players, etc., where there's no necessary strength difference, right? But it's just like, okay, operating under pressure,
You
using
can
my
fight
mind,
against this.
being a
There's no
deductive
reason to
problem
think
solver,
this is
using
true.
logic,
There's
using
just
rationale.
there's no good
Men
reason
are
to think it's true.
superior, and if they weren't, there'd be more female chess champions. There'd be more Formula 1 drivers that were women. There would be more pilots that were men, that were women. But men overwhelmingly dominate these positions. Why? Because men are more logically sound than women. I don't even know how this is a debate right now. Engineers, mathematicians, etc. Anything that is logically sound or more rationally based is dominated by men. Now, is that to say that there aren't women out there that are capable of being logically and rationally sound? Of course, you two are to a degree, right? But most women aren't, guys. The exceptions don't make the rule.
Well, the domination and like overrepresentation of men in these sectors doesn't necessarily mean that they are more qualified.
True.
To draw a parallel with race, white people are overrepresented in every aspect of government, and black people and non-white people are clearly not. Does that from there? Does it then follow that white people are genetically superior to black people?
Is he going to say yes to that?
Of course not. Means there are social biases that privilege
Okay,
those
that was a
individuals.
really good example.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the bell curve is real for a reason, and also you can
Oh,
make the same.
Sneeko, you cuck.
Okay, but look, you can make the
He
same.
cucked out on his race.
You can make the
Oh
same
no.
comparison to the NBA or the NFL. Like people, we all understand that black people are better at playing sports than white people because of the genetic makeup, right?
Oh
What
no.
specifically are you referring to?
I mean, they're bigger, stronger, faster.
Wait,
White boys can jump.
like a warrior gene or what? Because you're saying like black people are genetically.
Okay, I'll answer for her.
And black don't crack.
African Americans have far more fast twitch muscle fibers.
I don't think that's true.
We're playing sports that
I feel like I've heard this argument before and it's not true. I'd have to go look it up again.
Etc. Black people dominate almost every other race when it comes to fast twitch muscle fibers, which is obviously used in sports.
Race is real, just like gender is real. It's the same reason we understand why Asians are the best in math. It's because of the genetic makeup. It is what it is. Look, you can make these generalizations about race and it's fine, but now that we try to equate it to gender and you say it's not because of the opportunities, but it's just race is real just as much as
just the majority of percentage.
When it comes down to gender, though, the facts that you guys are stating and the statistics and all that shit is actually changing. Like it's actually reversing because all you guys men think you guys are stronger and this and that, but it's actually reversing because all you men are actually turning.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true.
Right.
That's a good point too. That like
at the same time,
I'm pretty sure all the strongest powerlifters in the world are like white European guys. Yeah, I don't think the idea that black people have more fast twitch muscles. I don't think that's true.
Oh, I feel like these niggas is just.
It just
You seriously think that? Hold on.
What are y'all back for?
Okay, look.
It depends what type of nigga you fucking with.
Okay,
I ain't
look.
fucking with no nigga.
If you really think that, then you know what? Let's get more women in the military. If you really think that, let's get more women in the military. Let's go ahead and get rid of the WNBA. And let's let women play sports with men. You think they'll be able to compete? The answer is no, so stop.
Well, yes.
I want to ask a question for all the ladies. Let me ask a question real quick. Let me show you.
No, bro. We're having a conversation
here. And I want to ask a question.
When it's time for the ladies to ask a question.
Not to die.
Sure. But
this
it's
is a
not.
good question.
Yo, is this your show?
No, but
Shut
I
up.
have a good question.
Okay, go ahead. What are you saying? We're talking about something and you just want to interject my question. Like
because everyone else asked a question. I'm the only one that's respecting the one mic, one whatever policy.
You've interjected a bunch of times. You're doing it right now. We're on a topic right now with as far as gender and race.
You don't have a good question. You just want a little bit of attention.
Okay, you guys are talking about attention. I can talk. I don't need. You guys want to talk about statistics?
Sober up and then you can talk. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to say that you clearly believe that biological explanations are the reason that we see men on top and overrepresented in like every sector of society for the most part, right? Like a genetic superiority to women.
Are you saying is that why?
I'm saying that seems to be what you believe based off the statements that you've made tonight.
That men are superior in
genetically, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and your evidence of that is to point to like results. You're looking at again overrepresentation. STEM
Are we going to another topic? Because we were talking about race a second ago. With fast twitch muscle fibers.
We can still talk about race if you like.
What's your question? But it's not about superiority. It's that we have different.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Things. See, this is what happens, and this is why this debate even comes up, is because when you hear this, you think that men are better than women. In some ways, in some fields, yes, but not overall. We're not superior.
I could be misunderstanding your argument. I don't believe that you're. That's what I was asking you. Do you believe that like men are biologically superior to women?
Yes, in many regards.
Right.
Absolutely.
But the point is, we are just not equal. Stop taking it personal.
I don't believe that.
Between men and women.
I don't believe
Can I make an observation?
It's a fact.
The whole theory, the whole fucking theory is that white people have stronger, more powerful muscles, and black people have more explosive muscle. That would predict that white people are better powerlifters. No, I haven't heard that before ever. I could be wrong, but fast twitch muscle fibers. When people think of fast versus slow, I think they're generally thinking like aerobic versus anaerobic. Like if you're slowly pushing a boulder, that's not slow twitch muscle fibers. That's still your fast twitch muscle fibers. These are still your, I think these are still your, in the presence of oxygen, your aerobic, I think, pushers. Like things that are like powerlifting or like explosive movements, it's all like, that's all like fast twitch muscle fiber. I think slow twitch muscle fibers are things for like smaller movements, or it might be for endurance stuff, but like fast twitch doesn't just mean like really fast. Like powerlifting is still gonna be like fast twitch muscle fibers for stuff like that. I'm pretty sure.
That men are biologically superior to women when it comes to strength, height, muscle density, more aerobic capacity.
Men are more strong than women on average.
There's a reason why there's two standards in the military. There's a reason why there's different sports.
And we're more emotional. Higher side of like social biases that you're not.
Yo, who are you talking to?
Just stop talking.
Just stop talking. Nobody sounds. I don't know what you think this is, but like, this is the truth. Out of here, bro. Like, just get out of here, bro. Just get out of here, bro.
You sound retarded.
Get out of here, bro. You sound retarded. Get out of here, bro. Here, bro. You idiot.
You see how emotional we are, bro?
Oh my god, dude. That Xena girl is such a pick-me. She's such a pick-me. Oh my god, it's actually insane.
Hold up. Let me say my shit. Quiet. Now
Every time I say he gets mad.
She was just talking over everybody the whole time.
But everybody has been talking over everybody, honestly. Because women are emotional, that's
Like,
why.
you're not gonna call me dumb on my own shit. Especially when I'm stating facts. You're the one that looks dumb. Yeah. Some ratchet ass hoes, man. Who brought that here, man?
I told you before we started, Myron. I told you.
Everyone, can I make an observation?
Sure. Go ahead.
So you guys are talking about this as if it's something biological and ingrained. And I just think it's interesting that we're ignoring the fact that for... Okay. We're ignoring the fact that for a lot of history...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One second. Okay. I'll just wait till we're done.
Yeah, there's just...
Okay.
Why'd you put that?
We're ignoring the fact that throughout history there has been a lot of barriers purposely put to hold women back, right? So if we're thinking about, oh, you know, men are more inclined to be this way versus that way, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't want to interrupt,
there had to be...
but before you go into that, what did they purposely do to make women not, whatever you were saying?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I want to know. I have great questions, so let me talk.
Yeah, okay. So
She was getting there, man.
She was literally getting there. I really want to know, though.
She was literally getting there.
Okay, let's get to it.
So,
Instead of interrupting, let her talk and stop drinking.
Oh my god.
She just wants to talk right now. It's just.
I do. I want to debate.
Like, bro, this ain't a show, man.
but wait
Like,
for
chill
her
out.
to
I know.
finish to
I
make
want to
your
debate.
argument.
I have a good question.
Look. Stop interjecting. Sober up.
I haven't interjected though.
You
That's the thing.
interjected. Literally, she's trying to speak, and you're interjecting.
Okay, I am now because I really want to. I want to know what
Okay,
she.
but you're not contributing to the
get
debate. You just want some
You just
attention.
want to talk, bro.
Why do you think I want attention? I don't need
Because you
attention.
haven't.
Oh
said
no, is someone else getting kicked off?
Exactly.
Yo, shut the yo, get the out here, bro.
Why are you kicking me out? I didn't even do
Get
anything.
these drunk ass out here, bro.
You asked for
I
mine
wanna
as
talk.
liquor. I
Out of here, bro.
want to still talk.
This is not gonna be a low IQ conversation.
Alright, no, I don't have to.
Nah, bro, she out. She out. Nah, man. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Yes, I'm doing you like that.
Well, I'm gonna sit in the cut and wait for my friend.
Like, bro, like this is not you out the studio, bro. Like we on this attention horn shit. Like I don't give a how you look.
Oh,
My shit, bro.
Before I go, everybody.
Bro, get out of here.
How many of you ladies want to kick as far as this police shit and law
Incredible.
enforcement? How many of you ladies really want to
Incredible.
go?
Incredible,
How
bro.
many of you ladies want to kick down doors when you want to work for law enforcement? You ladies don't want to do that shit. So what I'm saying is,
Yo, leave. What are you doing?
this is
All right, well, out of here. You look crazy. Like,
Does this
bro,
usually
get the
happen?
fuck out of here. The clown world shit. You're trying to have a high IQ conversation. You want to make it about you. When you drunk it, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the thing this is?
You see what I'm talking about now?
man.
She said I'm cute when talking about a debate.
Oh.
Like, a man wouldn't do that.
What's happening? Uh-oh.
She's twerking.
Yeah, but she's intoxicated.
Yeah, she's ridiculous.
I don't twerk when I'm
She
intoxicated.
looks like a clown, bro.
I've never started twerking while intoxicated.
This is a perfect example of a girl never being told no. Like, never, yo, you ain't going in there, bro. What's wrong with you? Chris.
No.
Myron,
No, you're on probation. No.
that's not what I meant. She just listens to me. You want me to get her out?
And I
Do you want me to get her out?
Oh, she your friend? All right, yeah, get her out of here.
I don't want anyone to feel like we're hogging the mics. Like I want to hear everybody's feedback.
Well, here's the thing. We got to keep the conversation somewhat high IQ. And these two girls were
They're just
pretty
jealous of the
IQ.
attention that they wanted. The spotlight wasn't on them for 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're just mad about that
I mean,
shit.
women are addicted to attention.
I mean, right now, this is a perfect example of logic versus emotion. Like, y'all are literally witnessing it right now.
Two examples, bro.
Two perfect examples.
I thought you said the
Yeah.
Okay. Are we good?
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We can continue the conversation.
Okay.
Okay. You okay? Oh my god.
Bro, I'm gonna end up fighting her.
I'm kind of scared.
She's knocking on the door now.
Milkers. There's lots of fighting going on.
That much to drink.
There's like 2 girls got kicked
Hood
out.
ass bitch doesn't want to leave.
Can I have attention? I hurt my foot really bad. Simps, can I have attention? I'm cute.
All right.
Subscribe.
So,
Stay strong, Chad.
Yeah,
Chat ain't strong when Xena in the house.
I hope you guys,
We all know that.
see the going on. Actually, this is a perfect example of like emotion versus logic right now.
Slamming on the door.
You want me to get rid of?
This isn't gonna. This should be okay, right? It's not gonna like.
All right. So where were we at? Somebody had something?
I was talking about
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so historically there's been a lot of barriers for women to get into these fields to begin with. So for example, historically women weren't allowed to get an education, they weren't allowed to work jobs beyond teaching and nursing, and this was until like the 60s, 70s where it started changing. Women couldn't even have their own bank accounts. They couldn't own their own property. So when it comes to the idea of sorry, I'm getting like distracted by her screaming.
Yeah, they didn't do this back then before the 60s. Like they knew their place, huh?
Back to gender.
Okay, so when we talk about, women just aren't interested in these fields. Well, historically, women have been like gatekept out of these fields. They haven't been allowed to get their foot in. And I think a perfect example.
Sneak around the show.
I got you.
Uh-oh. Jesus.
Keep going.
Okay. So when people talk about like, well, now all these barriers are down, why aren't women like going into these fields? It also doesn't make complete sense.
Und Staatsanwaltschaft in mehreren Bundesländern gegen Klimaaktivisten der Gruppe Letzte Generation vorgegangen. Dabei durchsuchten die Beamten Räume, beschlagnahmten Konten und sperrten die Webseite der Aktivisten. Die Generalstaatsanwaltschaft München verdächtigt die Gruppe, eine kriminelle Vereinigung gegründet zu haben. Mit umstrittenen Klebeaktionen, vor allem auf Straßen, protestiert die Letzte Generation regelmäßig für mehr Klimaschutz.
Heute Morgen durchsuchten Ermittler wie hier in Berlin und in anderen Städten Wohnungen und Geschäftsräume der Letzten Generation. Neben Fällen von Nötigung wird auch wegen versuchter Sabotage an der Ölpipeline Triest-Ingolstadt in Bayern ermittelt.
Diese Unterlagen werden jetzt ausgewertet und am Ende dieser Auswertung der mit Sicherheit umfangreichen Unterlagen, die wir da sichergestellt haben, steht dann ein Ermittlungsergebnis und eine gesamte Bewertung.
Ziel der Razzia sei das Auffinden von Beweismitteln zur Mitgliederstruktur und Finanzierung der Letzten Generation. Die Gruppierung soll zuletzt 1,4 Millionen Euro an Spenden gesammelt haben, um weitere Straftaten zu finanzieren, so die Staatsanwaltschaft. Auch die Wohnung des Klimaaktivisten Ingo Blechschmidt wurde durchsucht. Er betreibt Website und Hotline der Letzten Generation.
Eine kriminelle Vereinigung, das ist wirklich was ganz Erhebliches. Das sind irgendwelche Gangsterbanden, die sich zusammenschließen, um nachts immer wieder irgendwelche Straftaten zu begehen. Das sind wirklich Kriminelle. Und die Menschen von der Letzten Generation und auch ich vom Klimacamp, wir engagieren uns friedlich für Klimagerechtigkeit.
Am Mittag kündigten die Aktivisten an, weiterzumachen.
Die 15 Hausdurchsuchungen, die heute Morgen stattgefunden haben, haben alle Unterstützer der Letzten Generation hart getroffen. Sie machen uns Angst. Aber wir dürfen nicht in dieser Angst verharren.
Die Bundesinnenministerin rechtfertigte die Ermittlungen.
Die heutigen Maßnahmen zeigen, dass der Rechtsstaat sich nicht auf der Nase herumtanzen lässt. Polizei und Justiz nehmen Straftaten nicht hin, sondern handeln, so wie es ihre Pflicht ist.
Die Frage, wie die Letzte Generation juristisch einzuordnen ist, wird kontrovers diskutiert.
Ermittlungsverfahren gegen Mitglieder der Letzten Generation wegen Bildung einer kriminellen Vereinigung werden schon länger bei unterschiedlichen Staatsanwaltschaften geführt. Ob die Klimaaktivisten aber tatsächlich eine kriminelle Vereinigung im Sinne des Gesetzes sind, ist eine komplexe und noch nicht geklärte Frage.
Als Reaktion auf die Razzia formierte sich in Berlin am frühen Abend ein Protestmarsch. Für diese und kommende Woche ruft die Letzte Generation zu weiteren Protestmärschen auf.
Der Bundestag hat sich heute in einer Aktuellen Stunde mit den Heizungsplänen von Wirtschaftsminister Habeck beschäftigt. Sein Gesetzentwurf sollte eigentlich in dieser Woche in erster Lesung im Parlament beraten werden. Das scheiterte aber an der FDP, die noch Klärungsbedarf sieht. SPD und Grüne forderten ihren Koalitionspartner in der Debatte auf, das Vorhaben zügig im Bundestag zu behandeln. Die Union lehnt den Gesetzentwurf ab und stellte die Handlungsfähigkeit der Ampel in Frage.
Ob es der Tagesordnungspunkt ist, über den Bundeswirtschaftsminister Habeck etwas schmunzelt, offen. Aber das Heizungsgesetz hat es doch ins Parlament geschafft. Eine Aktuelle Stunde auf Antrag der Union. Die teilt in Richtung Ampel aus.
Sie sorgen sich um Zeitpläne und Formalien, streiten auf Twitter. Nur um die existenziellen Ängste der Leute im echten, im realen Leben, um die kümmert sich gerade keiner. Liebe Kolleginnen und Kollegen von der Ampel, das ist Machtvergessen. Das ist selbstbezogen, das ist unwürdig. Beenden Sie dieses Schauspiel, ziehen Sie den Gesetzentwurf zurück.
Konkrete Verbesserungsvorschläge kommen nicht. Die SPD wehrt sich.
Wo sind denn bitte die Vorschläge, hier das Thema Wärme von der CDU zu beantworten, liebe Kolleginnen und Kollegen?
Aber auch AfD und Linke sparen nicht mit Kritik.
Jetzt muss auch dieser Heizungshammer weg. Und zwar komplett weg. Denn es ist doch völlig absurd, dass den Menschen verboten werden soll, mit Gas zu heizen.
Meine Bauministerin Geibitz und ihre Partei, der SPD, der fällt allen Ernstes erst jetzt auf, dass die Mehrkosten für die teureren Wärmepumpen und die notwendigen Umbauten in Mehrfamilienhäusern, dass das auf die Mieterinnen und Mieter abgewälzt werden wird, dass dadurch die Mieten massiv steigen. Ja, guten Morgen.
Die Liberalen, die gestern noch kaum mit Kritik am Gebäudeenergiegesetz gespart haben, schlagen heute andere Töne an, lenken etwas ein.
Es ist doch klar, es braucht eine Novelle des Gebäudeenergiegesetzes. Und es ist auch klar, so wie das aus der Regierung gekommen ist, wird das nicht durch dieses Parlament gehen. Es braucht eine Novellierung. Hier ist der richtige Ort, wo wir das diskutieren.
Dass es die Liberalen waren, die das Gesetz hier an diesem richtigen Ort in dieser Woche nicht auf den Weg bringen wollten, daran erinnern die Grünen.
Das Gesetz muss beraten werden, muss hier beraten werden. Das ist das, da wo es hingehört. Das ist Aufgabe von uns Parlamentariern. Lassen Sie uns die Blockade an der Stelle auflösen.
Ein intensiver Austausch, den Bundeswirtschaftsminister Habeck schweigend zur Kenntnis nimmt.
Neben dem Heizungsgesetz ist auch die Etatplanung für 2024 Streitthema in der Koalition. Bundesfinanzminister Lindner hat bislang weder Zeitplan noch Eckwerte vorgelegt. Bekannt ist nur, dass noch eine Lücke von 20 Milliarden Euro klafft. Heute musste der FDP-Politiker im Haushaltsausschuss Rede und Antwort stehen. Auch hier blieb er vage, bekräftigte allerdings, keine neuen Schulden machen zu wollen.
Von Finanzminister Lindner wollen heute alle Antworten haben. Wofür wird Geld aus dem Haushalt 2024 da sein? Wer muss sparen und wann gibt es überhaupt einen Entwurf? Zeitnah, so der Minister. Konkreter wird es nicht. Pauschal gekürzt werden sollen die Etats bei den Ministerien aber auch nicht. Es sei klar,
dass es keine pauschale Einsparung nach der Rasenmähermethode geben kann. Das wäre nicht gestaltend. Entsprechende Medienspekulationen sind gegenstandslos. Gemeinsam und gestaltend bedeutet allerdings auch, dass es nicht möglich ist, Einsparungen und Belastungen einseitig zu verteilen.
im Haushaltsausschuss ist die Stimmung angespannt, da die Parlamentarier über die Gelder noch beraten müssen. Die Zeit drängt. Ein Termin für einen Entwurf ist derzeit noch nicht klar.
Man hat den Eindruck, dass der Finanzminister, dafür muss man sogar Verständnis haben, alleine jedenfalls nicht mehr in der Lage ist, dieses Haushaltsaufstellungsverfahren in geordnete Bahnen zu bringen.
Das Parlament soll nicht die Gelegenheit haben, wirklich gründlich zu beraten. Ich finde, das ist einer Demokratie nicht würdig.
Die Budgetverhandlungen sind schwierig, die Kasse knapp. So sehen die Grünen folgende Lösung.
Worum es gehen muss, ist, dass wir auch über Alternativen reden zu einer blinden Sparpolitik. Also zum Beispiel, wie man eine gerechtere Steuerpolitik machen kann, die die Reichen stärker in die Pflicht nimmt oder auch konkret klimaschädliche Subventionen kürzt.
Vor der Sommerpause, also bis Anfang Juli, so fordert das Parlament, soll der Finanzminister einen Haushaltsentwurf vorlegen.
Bundeskanzler Scholz hat zurückhaltend auf Forderungen der Kommunen nach dauerhafter Hilfe bei der Versorgung von Flüchtlingen reagiert. Der Bund leiste bereits seinen Teil und auch deutlich mehr als in der Vergangenheit, sagte er auf der Hauptversammlung des Deutschen Städtetages. Auch beim Thema Energie- und Wärmewende ging es um Geld und um mehr politische Mitsprache. Der Kommunale Spitzenverband vertritt 3.200 Städte und Gemeinden.
Gemeinsam neue Wege wagen, das ist der Titel des Deutschen Städtetages für seine Hauptversammlung. Neue Wege müssen die Städte suchen, denn sie stehen vor großen Aufgaben. Die Unterbringung von Flüchtlingen, die Erneuerung von Infrastruktur oder den Umgang mit dem Klimawandel. All das müssen die Städte finanzieren und deswegen geht es hier besonders auch ums Geld.
Wenn unser Land funktionieren soll, wenn die Menschen in unseren Städten auch zusammenhalten sollen, dann müssen wir natürlich für diese wesentlichen Punkte, wie zum Beispiel die Anforderungen Klimaschutz und Klimaanpassung, auch entsprechend mit berücksichtigt werden, übrigens auch finanziell.
Gerade die große Zahl von Geflüchteten ist für die Kommunen ein Problem. Es gibt nicht genug Unterkünfte und es sei mehr Unterstützung nötig bei Sprachkursen und Kitaplätzen. Sonst könne die Integration nicht gelingen, kritisierte der Präsident des Deutschen Städtetages. Bundeskanzler Scholz betonte, der Bund habe den Kommunen bereits stark finanziell geholfen.
Doch wir dürfen unseren Umgang mit Fluchtmigration eben nicht auf finanzielle Fragen reduzieren.
Denn wer das tut, der spielt denen in die Hände, die mit dem Feuer des Ressentiments zünden. Es geht darum, Migration zu steuern und zu ordnen. Nur wenn uns das gelingt, entlasten wir unsere Kommunen dauerhaft und nachhaltig.
Scholz sagte, er wolle versuchen, überschuldeten Kommunen zu helfen. Er möchte ihnen einen Teil ihrer Schulden erlassen. Doch dafür muss erst das Grundgesetz geändert werden.
Darf ein freigesprochener Angeklagter wegen derselben Straftat erneut vor Gericht gestellt werden? Mit dieser Frage hat sich heute das Bundesverfassungsgericht beschäftigt. Konkret geht es um einen Mordfall aus den 80er Jahren. Ein Verdächtiger war damals freigesprochen worden. Inzwischen gibt es aber neue Hinweise, die ihn belasten. Eine Gesetzesänderung aus dem Jahr 2021 macht ein zweites Verfahren möglich. Doch dagegen wehrt sich der Verdächtige.
In diesem Waldstück wird im November 1981 die 17-jährige Friederike von Müllmann vergewaltigt und ermordet. Schnell gerät Ismet H. als Tatverdächtiger ins Visier, doch das Gericht hat am Ende Zweifel. 1983 wird er rechtskräftig freigesprochen. 2012 ergibt eine DNA-Analyse, er könnte doch der Täter sein, aber nach geltendem Recht war nach einem Freispruch ein zweiter Prozess nicht erlaubt. 2021 ändert die Große Koalition die Strafprozessordnung. Gibt es neue Beweismittel, die jemanden dringend verdächtig machen, ist bei schwersten Straftaten wie Mord ein neuer Prozess möglich. Das Argument dafür?
Gerechtigkeit ist gerade bei Mord, Völkermord und diesen schwersten aller Delikte ganz besonders wichtig und muss im Vordergrund stehen.
Dagegen spricht, aus dem Grundgesetz ergibt sich im Prinzip, niemand darf wegen derselben Tat zweimal vor Gericht gestellt werden. Eine Reaktion auf Machtmissbrauch in der NS-Zeit.
Das ist ein ganz wichtiges rechtsstaatliches Schutzinstrument. Wenn man einmal freigesprochen wurde, darf man sich darauf verlassen, dass diese Rechtskraft, wie die Juristen sagen, hält.
Karlsruhe muss nun klären, ob die Verfassung beim Verdacht schwerster Straftaten und neuen Beweismitteln ausnahmsweise einen neuen Prozess zulässt. Bei diesem Thema prallen zwei sehr grundlegende Prinzipien im Rechtsstaat aufeinander. Auf der einen Seite das Vertrauen, dass ein rechtskräftiges Urteil nicht mehr angetastet wird. Und auf der anderen Seite der Anspruch von Opfern und Staat, dass schwerste Straftaten auch aufgeklärt und bestraft werden. Das Grundsatzurteil in diesem Spannungsfeld wird in einigen Monaten erwartet.
Der umstrittene Einstieg eines Investors in die deutsche Fußballliga ist vom Tisch. Ein entsprechender Antrag fand bei den 36 Clubs aus der ersten und zweiten Liga nicht die notwendige Mehrheit. Dabei ging es um 2 Milliarden Euro Geld, das in die Vermarktung der Bundesliga, aber auch direkt in die Vereinskassen fließen sollte. Auch viele Fans waren gegen den Deal. Sie befürchteten eine weitere Kommerzialisierung des Fußballs.
Keine Einigung der Profiklubs heißt keine 2 Milliarden Euro frisches Geld für die erste und zweite Liga von Investoren.
Ist für uns klar, dass der Prozess mit dem heutigen Tage dann zu Ende ist. Manchmal ist das Leben auch einfach. Das ist Demokratie.
Mit dem Geld wollte die DFL insbesondere die Gesamtvermarktung der Bundesliga stärken, vor allem im Ausland. Der ursprüngliche Plan sah die Gründung einer Tochterfirma vor, die DFL Media Co. Deren Kerngeschäft, der Verkauf der nationalen und internationalen Übertragungsrechte. Der Investor sollte der DFL 2 Milliarden Euro überweisen. Als Gegenleistung wäre er 20 Jahre mit 12,5% an den Erlösen der neuen Firma beteiligt worden. Seit Wochen gab es massive Proteste der Fans in den Stadien gegen einen Investoreneinstieg. Der 2-Milliarden-Deal hätte den Clubs zwar einmalig etwa 300 Millionen Euro garantiert, um neue Spieler kaufen zu können. Doch weil das meiste Geld an die großen und besonders erfolgreichen Clubs gehen sollte, gab es Kritik von kleineren Vereinen wie dem FC St. Pauli. Etliche Zweitligavereine entschieden sich heute gegen die Pläne der DFL.
Das ist zu respektieren. Und was das an Konsequenzen nach sich zieht in den nächsten Jahren, das ist schwer abschätzbar. Aber ich glaube, dass wir insgesamt als Liga keinen leichten Zeiten entgegengehen.
Denn in Sachen Auslandsvermarktung kann die Bundesliga mit den europäischen Top-Ligen in England oder Spanien nicht mithalten.
Die Lottozahlen.
Ooh, that's kind of nice. Oh Oh my god. Oh. They're so agile. That was cool.
Your bunkums, boy. Get over there, hurt. You can't even be.
Wait, you have the ice on it. Wait, he has a necklace on it.
Massive love for you, Felix. When are you taking me out on a date?
Your bunkums, boy.
Am I crazy?
Get over there, hurt. You can't even.
Isn't that a necklace? It is though. It is though. Oh.
Ich biete euch eine Aufgabe gewachsen seid.
Holy shit!
Viele beim Kartell wetten, wer die besseren Kämpfer hat. Interesse, das Ergebnis zu beeinflussen.
Damn! Nah, dude. Nah, that was planned. He didn't fall. Yes. What is? Chad, do you think the bear knows that it's being helped or not? Oh my god. Damn. That's pretty sick, actually, the fuck. Oh my god. Jesus, man.
Hey, mate.
What is that?
Come on. Wait.
Swim. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Oh, what is that? The fuck? It looks like the domain in fucking Zelda. What the fuck? Oh my god. Jesus. Dude, look at this guy's eyes and face, man. This guy's losing it. Jesus, man. Glenn Stevens when he doesn't PB.
Wenn der Lärm der Schlacht erklingt, werden die Lord zuhören und die Gefallenen werden ihn folgen ins Jenseits.
Hi, smile.
That's insane. He took a sip of a fucking Guinness without puking. That's actually insane. Alright, next one. Last one. 5. Oh. Jesus. I lived. Somehow.
I was wondering about that. I heard something about that.
Chat, is that the glizzy guy from YouTube?
I heard something about that.
I've never seen nobody be able to do this. I can do it quick. Okay? I'm just saying. We can go viral with this one. Missing glizzy.
Actually, Ratatouille.
The snow goose needs not bathe to make itself white. Neither need you do anything but be yourself.
Alright. Ooh! Dude, major respect to the people who can do that. Dude, board slides on the way up is fucking insane. You have so much fucking strength in your legs, it's insane. Yo, you know what I meant? That's pretty insane. True.
No, I mean, yeah, but like, why are you?
I got it. I can do it again.
Yeah, true. I do that sometimes.
Pushing like that, bro?
Like what?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, true. Alright, dude. Alright, dude, true.
Like, you got everybody looking at
you. Don't get it?
And shit. You might need to cut that shit the fuck out.
Yeah, all good. Just mark it.
Yeah, you don't skip, bro. You're not understanding.
Explain? Because
bro, that's the last one. It's the last.
Whenever you skate, dude, some people have like a mannerism whenever they land or they do a trick, right? And it's kind of smooth or whatever. And it's kind of natural.
to the yo, I just hit a check out, and I just hit a back, so you got me. We got it jumping in this LA lobby. I'm back in my mouth, so you know you can't stop me. Living this shit, no, this shit ain't no hobby. Go, I don't really know what he on, I don't know why he wanna rob me. Go, we don't let that boy if he on, I think that his flow is too sloppy. Go.
This was a baby step, you and me working together. You got no clue what it takes to survive in the real world. Just wait. I will find you. What if I do first?
because when it comes to people growing up deciding what careers they want
How many
to,
people
what
have
they look
left?
at first is, okay, what about the people like me? What careers are they into? Because it seems more accessible and easier to get to those careers. So, do you guys know Dana Scully?
Oh, of
X-Files.
X-Files. Yes, the Scully effect
Yes,
is a perfect example.
exactly. So in the 70s, I forgot the exact.
I think the 90s. X-Files is a 90s
yes,
show.
Yes. Okay. So in the 90s, X-Files
Time out.
came out.
Can you hear me in your? I can't hear.
Yeah,
me.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Sorry.
So in the 90s, the X-Files came out. And afterwards, there was a huge surgence of women applying towards STEM fields. And when asked about these women, like, why did you decide to apply to these STEM fields? The vast majority said, oh, well, my inspiration was Dana Scully, a woman who in the X-Files was a hardcore STEM lady. So that's just one small example of how, oh, you want more women in STEM? Why aren't they picking STEM? Why aren't they doing that? A lot of it is because they don't see other women in STEM. So they don't think the probability of them succeeding in that field is high. So they choose something else. It's not because they're less logical or less inclined.
Yeah, media representation plays a huge role in these things. So if you are growing up and you're socialized or consuming media in which men are overwhelmingly represented in these fields, and then even in fictional media, women are not depicted, or minority demographics are not
I don't know if this would be considered code switching. I feel like that only applies to racial shit. But I feel like when I'm on these shows too, I think it's important to, I don't want to say you have to like speak dumb, but I think you have to be careful with the words you use. Maybe I don't do a good job of this, I'm not sure, but I feel sometimes when I feel like the talk gets really academic, like the audience, like their eyes are kind of glazing over, and you kind of have to find a way to distill it down into something a little bit more understandable, maybe?
in these roles.
I don't know if that makes sense.
So you think it's brainwashing and it has nothing to do with your genetic makeup?
I mean, I disagree with the framing of brainwashing.
Well, you're saying
Like-
media, you're saying not seeing other women.
Well, influence. Media obviously has influence. You agree, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So that's what I'm saying. Is that like you don't? That's something that you obviously notice. Like in the same way that like black people notice that they're not represented in like the highest facets of government and whatnot. That there can be a chilling effect in which people self-select and feel like they're not welcome in those fields. And it's not for lack of qualifications, but
It's because they don't feel empowered to do so. I know that word is corny, but it's true. If you feel like,
Okay, so the point is, we are not equal. And if you want, I have straight, real stories, not statistics and studies. I have actual stories. If you want to hear the story
They
of
love
my actual
anecdotal,
life
baby.
that I've been through, I can tell it. But if not, can we change the stuff that
I kind of feel bad for you because all the points you're making are just being debunked by this panel right now.
well, the good thing is that I believe in logic and I don't believe in
But
anecdotal
nobody gives a
evidence.
what we believe in. Like, let's be real. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. We're on Rumble, right?
Yes.
Nobody gives a what you believe in. It's tree. It's
Jesus
facts. What you believe in doesn't have to matter. We get it. There's plenty of other statistics that literally debunk you, bro.
Oh
Like,
God, I wish
just
I could
stop.
be on
And
here.
that's kinda
Oh
the
my
thing.
God, I
Let
wish I
me
could be on
finish
here.
talking. Therefore, I get that crazy because you don't want me to do that. I promise.
Zena,
so shut
Zena,
the fuck
Zena,
up.
Zena,
I'm
chill-
not going to.
chill
I
out.
promise. I'm not
Chill.
going. So at the end of the day, statistics, you can't always back your logic behind all these statistics either. You're over here arguing about media having control of everything and brainwashing. So who's to say that the shit you're studying is not even real? Like, come on.
The scientific method.
No.
There's
Yeah,
No,
good Chad.
no.
Maybe everything
So
is
let's talk
fake.
about another debate.
So,
No.
because there's been so many things addressed here, whether it's women having certain, not having certain accesses to certain privileges and accesses that men do, versus, races not having certain opportunities presented to them, etc. And though these barriers did exist, right? You guys were talking about the 60s, 70s, etc. Right? I would argue in today's day and age, we've corrected to a point where it's damn near overcorrection. And I would say African Americans have a lot of have equal opportunities to whites that whites honestly don't get the benefit of. A lot of time, affirmative action. Let's be honest here. If you're a woman, black, Hispanic, Native American, etc., you have a leg up in certain types of
But
institutions and
why,
education
if we're saying that they're
Caucasians don't.
If the majority group is already overrepresented in these industries, why would they need affirmative action?
Well, it's not about that. We've overcorrected to the point now we hire people that are less qualified because they're black, because
No.
they're Hispanic, because they're women.
That is affirmative
definitely
action
do.
is not conducted in the way that you're saying.
Well,
It absolutely does.
Where underqualified candidates are being privileged over white candidates
Absolutely.
or male candidates.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Usually affirmative action plays out like this. all else being equal, when the only variable that's different between two resumes is that you have a black candidate and a white candidate, affirmative action ensures that black candidates in that specific case will be prioritized over the white candidate. And I would argue
So explain to me how there's diversity hires, why they incentivize African Americans and or women. They put job postings literally for any other demographic except for Caucasians.
And specifically in Ivy League schools, they give acceptance to people.
Can you put a job posting only hiring black person? I thought that was illegal. I thought that was expressly illegal. I don't know if you can do that, can you?
Aren't Asian because they have too many Asians dominating them in all the studies.
Yeah, there are definitely issues with the way.
They overcorrect too much. And your point, you missed the point earlier, but she said that it's because of media and it's because of what we see. Women don't see other women succeeding.
It's not only because of media.
Right, but you said there's a lack of empowerment, and I would argue that there's too much empowerment. There's too much good girl boss. That's why you saw this whole panel say that I'm a girl boss, I'm a queen, I'm a trapper, I'm in charge, I'm married to the game, saying all these masculine qualities because of She-Hulk, because of Megan the Stallion. Stallion is a male horse. We are overly trying to make women turn into the masculine quality, to become the boss. There's too much empowerment.
I don't think that we're trying. I think we just have to step up to the plate because of the lack of leadership in our men.
Well, there's a reason that there's a lack of leadership in the men. It's because women are told too much to become the boss, and so as a result, men become weaker. If you brainwash the women, the men suffer. There's no point in blaming men or women for this problem. You saying that there's a lack of empowerment is just not true. There's too much empowerment. Like every single female role model, like Kim Kardashian, they're all queen. They're all like billionaires. They're all girl boss queens.
They're all influencers, or at least it seems like a lot of them are. It's not, if you're going to talk about, STEM.
Well, that's what they look up to. If you ask like all the girls on the panel who they look up to, they would say Nicki Minaj, they would say Megan the Stallion. They wouldn't say any of the people that you're citing.
Yeah, so that kind of actually proves my point, right? They see Kim Kardashian, a famous influencer, and they see that she's successful, so they think, maybe I can be successful going down that route. But if they don't see, famous female scientists, for example. They don't see famous female doctors, so they don't think, I can go down those routes and be successful.
If those influences exist even for superficial, sectors of society, like social media influences, we're saying that like it could be the case, and it obviously is the case, that there could be a more positive influence to be found in representation of women's representation in media, in which there are positions of economic power, like in roles of STEM.
Shouldn't that be proof as to why influencers are looked up to as the role models for women? Because what they really want is attention. That's the most important part.
Okay,
that's what women
I would
seek
say
the
by
most.
definition, man, woman, any influencer wants attention, right?
Okay, so is Kim Kardashian and the female scientists equal?
Well,
are they equal?
What do you mean by that?
Same shit with females and males.
That wasn't really a point. I'm saying the male role models are guys like Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla. You have a lot of like male role models that have nothing to do with attention, just people who have earned their achievements.
You don't think, I mean, like you're framing it like a negative thing, but I find attention to be such a neutral term in this.
There's no point in seeing it as negative. It's just this is what women prioritize. It doesn't have to be negative.
Nico, I understand what you're saying, but historically, men were allowed to do science and women just weren't. They weren't allowed to go to higher education university. So you're saying, this is what women prioritize? No, women look up to women that are successful, and for the vast majority of history, women weren't allowed to step
Okay, but
into
so
these
they've been
fields.
allowed to for like since you said the 60s, 70s, they've had all the same opportunities. Why have they not popped up?
That's the thing. Just because it's legally gone doesn't mean it's socially gone. And just like how we referred to the previous studies, even though companies claim that they love diversity, a lot of the times when it comes to the actual hiring practices, they don't really do it. Maybe they get one or two, but that's not nearly enough.
Well, you also got to remember, too, because of the things that I cited before, being just honest with you, women are just lazier than men. And women don't want to accept this, but men are far more prone to work harder. They're less likely to take vacation time. They're more likely to work more hours. Men, on average, just work harder than women in every stat across the field. So employers are within their rights to go ahead and pick men in certain endeavors because they know they're going to get a better employee. And then on top of that, when women have children, a lot of times I've seen lawyers, doctors, etc., they had children, their whole mindset changes. My career, I want to care about my children, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in general, women are far more interested in their family, people, and their children than necessarily a career. And they proved this too. They did a study in Ireland with COVID, right? When it was time to return back to the office, back to the workforce, most of the women elected to stay home and take care of the loved ones versus go back to the workforce. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that just speaks to the biological differences between the two genders. Men understand that if we don't go out and create excess resources, we will never be taken seriously from our counterparts. But women, on the other hand, don't have to create excess resources. If they choose to, it's elective, but you can still find a mate if you choose not to. We cannot find a mate if we don't create excess resources, which is why men have a hard, how do I say this? They have more incentive to go out there and create excess resources where women don't. This is why you look at pretty girls, a lot of times they don't work. Why? I don't have to.
They don't have to.
That's a fact. I take issue with your framing even from the start, because what you're characterizing as women behaving in a lazy way, I feel like you're undervaluing the product of domestic labor that women overwhelmingly do in the home, rearing children, care work, caring for elderly, or even in the sectors of work that they work in, like social work and stuff like that.
Okay.
Do you believe that these are easy jobs?
I never said it was.
No, but you did say that like women just are lazier, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I said it
I
earlier.
might have misunderstood.
Yeah, you did, because I was very specific, and I said that women are lazy when it comes to creating resources.
He's right. I'm gonna tell you why. Have you had a kid?
No, I haven't.
Have you had a kid? Okay, I've had a kid. This is real shit, real life. I've had a kid.
Okay.
Before, I was just like y'all. Oh no, I'm a workaholic. I'm a boss. I can do this, until I had my kid. Because when you have a kid, there's something called postpartum. The shit is serious. No, it's not just depression. It's just postpartum. And that shit is way worse than just depression. No, it's something unexplainable, unimaginable, just like birth. When we give birth, I gave natural birth. No epidural, no, I don't know how to say it in English, cesarean? How do you say it in English?
C-section?
C-section.
Nothing.
C-section.
Real birth. And the natural process, I changed completely. I changed my way of thinking, my way of working. I just wanted to dedicate my life to my child. Okay? So he's right in that.
And it's the opposite. When a man has a kid, he has even more of an incentive and more of a work ethic to create resources.
And we just want to be at home with our child. We want to provide for them.
But do you
and take
see
care
how
of them.
these things become like self-fulfilling prophecies? And on the one hand, I'm saying that women are relegated to these roles not by choice, but by social biases, where the expectation is for women to care for children, to be the homemakers. And then from there, you're saying, oh, well, they don't want to work. They're being lazy. And it's like, well, if women already have the overwhelming social expectation to care for children, are we good?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going.
To care for children, then I'm not going to characterize their choice to stay home and rear those children when they know that there is not necessarily going to be a man in their life to step up and do it, depending on their life
But she's
circumstances.
saying it's not something, it wasn't really a choice, it's just hardwired in her DNA to be the nurturer. It's not an active decision, it's just something natural that
It's
happens.
natural. It changed my life. It changed the way I viewed life. It changed the way I acted.
really describe it until you.
You were talking about
experience it.
maternal instinct.
The
Right.
statistics, the facts, what you believe.
Yeah.
It's you
Don't
gotta
believe
live
that
it.
there's an inclination for some men to have a paternal instinct towards their children?
I know, but a paternal instinct makes you want to create resources even more. That's the point.
I
Is
don't
that-
understand. Wait, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I really don't understand, because it seems to me that if you're a woman and you are trying to take care of another human being, you will be focused on amassing as many resources as you possibly
But
can
taking them
to
from
take
men.
care of your
Careful.
child.
Yeah, you can.
It seems like the
That's the-
natural
that's the father's
extension of motherhood.
responsibility.
But that's the thing. It's not just the father's responsibility. It's both. So it seems like both people, if they have a child, their natural inclination is let's increase as many
But
resources
if both
as we
parents,
can to
if
take
both
care of
parents
their
are there,
child.
it's going to be the father whose responsibility is to create the
Exactly.
resources and the mother's responsibility to
Also,
nurture.
I feel
That's
like
just
Why are
biology.
these separate? Like why? Like
Biology. It's
no,
not choice.
I don't
not
think
separate,
you.
it's
I
tandem. They
think
work
you
together.
misunderstand me. The reason why I'm saying they're not separate is because it feels like a false dichotomy between taking care of your child and trying to create excess resources. So, for example, if you are taking care of your child, you're trying to make sure that they're having like a good time, that they're, have access to as many things as possible. You'll want to have some extra money, right? Whether you're a woman or a man, or even if you have the man in the household, it seems logical to say, the more money we have, the more opportunities we can provide our child. Hence why women would also be interested in the field as well, or try to balance both as much as possible.
Okay, for example, my example. I didn't have the male, right? My child is my full responsibility. Nobody helps me. Okay? I had to go out and work and take the male position and go out and work, But I got to a point where I wanted to stay at home with my daughter, but I still want the best for my daughter. I want the best life for my daughter. I want I don't know the word, that starts with N. What'd you say? Nurture resources? I don't know.
Nurture.
Something like that. So I decided to find a way, but from home, to be with my child.
Exactly.
You know? But there's always a solution.
Exactly.
So
It seems like women would try to maximize both as much as possible, not just be nurture only, because it's a false dichotomy.
Of course they would try
part of
to,
nurture
but
is
everything
excess
trickles down to the
resources.
most important thing for a mother would be to nurture the child.
Let me address
some of these could be kind of like logical decisions as far as I'm concerned.
Okay,
like
let
the
me,
term like work, like what is it?
Let me
Work
address the
smarter, not
false
harder.
dichotomy of resources that you're stating. Here's the reality. Women on average typically want a man that makes about 56% more money than they do. Women prefer the man to be in a breadwinner position if possible. Now, are there situations where the woman is the breadwinner and the man stays at home? Yes, but we've seen these marriages fail and these relationships fail overwhelmingly. When a man is in a breadwinner position, that almost inevitably puts him in a leadership role, which is women tend to find attractive. Women, if left to their own devices, would prefer a man to be in a breadwinner/leadership role in the relationship. Now, does that mean that there are girls out there that are okay with providing resources and have the guy be behind the scenes? Or maybe they both provide resources, for sure. But in general, if I lined up 100 women and I said, would you prefer to be the breadwinner, or would you prefer your man to be the breadwinner, and he can only be the breadwinner and you can stay at home? Most women, especially if they have small children that they have to rear at home, would overwhelmingly prefer the man be the breadwinner. So I get what you're saying when it comes to like providing resources, etc. Let me be specific. The man needs to provide financial resources to allow the woman, the family and the woman to live and hopefully thrive. This is why women look at earnings so much more than men do. When a man meets a woman, he doesn't necessarily care too much about her earning capacity. Whereas when a woman meets a man, however, she cares a lot about his earning capacity. And it boils down to what I just said before. If we were to have children, can you support me and the child?
Can I offer?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to just offer, I'm not saying anything you said is wrong, by the way. I just want to offer also another alternative way to think about this. A really big reason why women care so much about the amount of money men make goes back to the fact that, women, even if they make the same amount of men, most of the time, I think like over 50, 60, whatever percent of the time, are expected to take care of the household chores as well. So if a woman and man are making around the same amount of money and then they go back home, well, she's still expected to do the majority of the labor. She's still expected to clean, do the laundry, wipe the house, everything.
And this is why so many women leave the workforce.
Well, yeah, but
Goes back to what she was saying. This is why so many women leave the workforce, because they understand that I can't do all of this, so I'm going to have to concede to some point. So I'm going to have to focus more on the children. So they leave the workforce, and who takes the L there? Well, the employer, because now I spent this money to train this woman up. She went up and climbed the ranks. She had a powerful position. Now she's leaving to go back to her child.
Does Myra know that Pixie and Ari are your friends? Do you think that's why he's respecting them more than the other women? I'm not sure. I don't know. It could go either way. He would be the kind of person I think would do that, because he is respectful. He tries to be nice to people that he respects. But I also think that he might actually appreciate the better conversations. He might actually be getting like a little bit bored of just like shitting on like dumb women all the time. So having ones that can actually put up some kind of fight. Is probably nice for him, I think.
Which again, the employer is within their right to be like, okay, statistically speaking, this woman might be a liability for us, right? In the future, say this might be a reason why they hire a man over a woman. So it's a very logically sound and decisive decision to make for the betterment of the company. But what I'm saying is that companies will still hire women, knowing that this is a potential of what may happen with them as far as their employee.
yeah, no, the point that I'm trying to illustrate here is that you're saying, women are more inclined to find like a man that earns more, et cetera, because that's within like their nature. And what I'm trying to say here is that another reason why women are inclined to look for men who earn more is because if they're going to be socially pressured into these roles anyways, well, like, fuck, I don't want to make the majority of money and do the majority of housework. That's just very uneven to me.
And most governments and most countries, like in the United States, we don't have the civic infrastructure to support women making alternative choices. So when you have a child in a marriage, somebody has to take care of that child. Most often, the responsibility falls towards the women. And a lot of times,
you guys are quite literally augmenting my argument even more.
Well,
you haven't refuted it whatsoever.
The point that
I'm trying to build upon it because I think it's a solid argument.
So what's the point? If we agree, then I don't know why we're.
Wait.
But if we're agreeing,
there will come a disagreement. Hold on. Let me complete my thoughts. So, the civic infrastructure necessary to enable women to stop being the ones who are solely assumed to be the primary caretakers in their home for children and for domestic labor would be like paid maternity leave. You know, that would take the burden off of the employers of any private company to have to pay an employee, a female employee who takes maternity leave. That burden is then shifted to taxpayers, to the state, absorbed by everybody else, and there's a net positive benefit to that because you want, so long as children are cared for and looked after, I feel like that's in everybody's benefit within a society. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mom; it could be the father, but usually is the mom, given the social circumstances that we find ourselves today. But would you be open to like men staying home and raising children if they had the option
That sounds great on paper, but women don't allow that. They don't want men.
Why do you think we get child support, and why do you think we get tax benefits and so many benefits as single mothers?
I'm going to dispute that heavily. That's not entirely true.
The reason why, listen, it doesn't matter what I personally think. The reality is when the woman is in a breadwinner position, divorces go up, relationships fail, it doesn't work. It sounds great on paper, and this is the problem with, no offense to you ladies, you guys are very leftist and liberal in your views, which is fantastic, because I wish the world operated the way that you guys think it should and ideally. But I don't operate on ideal. I operate on what's real. Women don't respect and they don't take men seriously that earn less money than they do on a balance of probabilities. Most women want to be with a man that earns significantly more than they do, about 56% to be exact, and that is how relationships typically stand together and marriages stay strong, is when the man is in a breadwinner position with the woman. And hey, I wish it was. I'd be open to more guys staying at home, but it doesn't work. Women don't like that.
So Myron raised an interesting point there, which is this expectation, let's say, for women to do the child rearing, to be at home, is that a societal expectation, or is it in fact an innate sort of expectation that exists between men and women anyway?
Societal expectation.
But don't you think now that kind of everything's up for grabs? Because I don't think anybody in mainstream society would say a man shouldn't stay at home and look after the kids. I think now anybody can really design their lifestyle as they want to. I don't believe there's any societal expectation against it now. So therefore, what's the problem? The question I want to ask actually the panel is, when do you think? Because we've talked about how women were disadvantaged in the past in various different ways, and now it seems to me, as Myron said, we've reached a point where actually, if anything, there's been a bit of an overcorrection. So when do you think the correction should cease and we should all just say, okay, right, it's fine, now everyone can just do what they want?
Well,
does that make sense?
I kind of understand where you're coming from. I think there's two things to take into consideration. The reason why I kept talking about before about, women are expected to make more like the domestic house chores, et cetera, is because when you talk about, men having to earn higher, well, if they earn the same amount or less, the woman is still doing more work at the house and outside of the house.
Yeah.
So that's why women are looking towards people who earn more, because that way it's a little bit more even. Are you saying, okay, now there's less societal expectation, men can go and stay at the house, et cetera? Yes, change takes a little bit of time. I think that is changing, but it's also important to note that a lot of men were not raised with these skills. Their mothers did not teach them how to do laundry, how to wash the dishes, how to clean the house, and I don't want to blame women, but yeah, it's kind of women's fault as well.
This is the social construct
I wasn't taught to wash dishes. I wasn't taught to cook. My mom didn't cook me shit. I had to figure it out. Right. I got kicked out.
Who taught your mom, though?
Huh?
Who taught your mom?
My mom don't cook. My mom wouldn't even feed me.
The exception to everything, babe.
There has to come a point in your life.
My father ain't in the picture. You know how shut the fuck up.
There has to come a point in your adult
Let me finish.
life where you start parenting yourself.
I agree.
Let me finish because I let y'all finish.
Serious.
You know how I started? I learned when I had my child, because and when I moved in with my ex, the baby guy.
It's funny
I had to figure it out.
You know why? Because reality hit. You had a kid. But
Exactly.
The leftist ideology is when you don't have kids, when you're young, when you're in college protesting, and then you start creating everything as a social construct and you ignore what reality is. That's when you could ignore biology. That's when leftists start saying that gender.
Is it not reality?
That's when but I'm seeing the parallels, like the she-they thing, that you're saying gender's a social construct. these ideas and these expectations are a social construct. Race is a social construct. The reality is race is real, gender is real, and biology is real. All of these expectations exist for a reason, not because some men just created this, it's because this is where we fall in line. It's not a societal expectation because someone just wrote up these rules and decided to persecute women. These existed because of biology.
Wait, I have a question. So do you not think it's biological, like men are not biologically capable of doing household chores?
No, I think they are. I think they are.
Anybody can.
Here's the thing. I got this. I got this right now. This will just because here's the thing you fail to understand, ladies. Men are capable. Women are capable. But the problem is what's optimal, okay? That's what you guys keep forgetting. Just because someone is capable of something does not mean that they're optimal at doing something. The way things optimally work is men stay at home, women stay at home, men go work. That's how the United States was built. If you look at any first world country, it was built on a nuclear family. How's the nuclear family built? Man goes to work, he creates resources, excess resources for him and his family, comes back, gives the money to the wife and the children. They're able to thrive. She stays at home. She takes care of the home and the children. So this is how it's worked. This is why the United States is the superpower it is now, because of the nuclear family through the 50s, etc. Now, the 1960s, things started to shift. Feminism hit. Women wanted to enter workforce, etc. Fantastic. The infrastructure is already built. Now we're able to sit here and debate about the situation. But the reality is, the modern world that you enjoy today was built on men going to work, creating resources to be able to get a wife, getting that wife, and creating a nuclear family. That is how society was built.
That the nuclear family is a relatively recent conception, like the 1950s.
No, it's been around forever. It's been around forever.
Let's talk
I'm just saying that's when it thrived. I'm talking about the United States.
In
particular.
Any society, agrarian families were the way the family's units were structured. Women would have 13 to 20 children in their life.
Yeah.
Very regularly. That does not resemble a nuclear family, right?
Okay.
You're missing the point. The point I use the nuclear family is simply an example for the United States in this example. What I'm saying in general, the world was built optimally, and we were able to progress as a species by men going to work, hunting and gathering, while women stayed at home and took care of the home. So I'm not saying men aren't capable of doing it. What I'm saying is that to operate optimally, men go work, women stay at home. That's how it's been forever.
Okay, but Miss Scientist, Miss Biology, according to scientific facts, right? Scientific fact. By nature, do you know what nesting is? If you guys studied maternity, because it's part of science. Okay, something called nesting, which is a fact. By natural, when we're about to give birth, we naturally start preparing the house, cleaning by natural. It's an instinct as a human being.
I've never heard of nest before, but
if we
what
have
do
that
I know?
instinct naturally, biologically, then obviously, by nature, we're supposed to be.
And it's funny that you realize that after becoming a mother, because this is the reality of modern feminists and leftists, is they run around saying all this stuff after they leave college or woke indoctrination camp, and they make all these idealistic expectations about this is how it should be. And you were like that too until you had a kid and you realized this is how I'm hardwired. But this is why there's more people not having kids. This is why there's less marriages. This is why everything is crumbling and the nuclear family is a thing of the past.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Sorry, Troy, you were trying to say something, then I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? Because as I said, I reckon all bets are off. So I reckon in 2023, any couple can get together in Miami or London or anywhere else, and they could agree between them, right, the guy's going to stay at home and the woman's going to go to work. And that will be absolutely fine. There's no societal pressure against that. But imagine if you're a guy and you write on your Tinder profile or whatever, yeah, I want to be a stay-at-home dad, and I just want I want you to go out for work and I'll look after the kids.
Did you know
how successful? How successful is that profile going to be?
That's
probably not very successful, I think. And the reason for that is not because of societal pressure. It's because women don't find that archetype attractive. Okay, which suggests to me that this is in some way innate.
Right.
But of course, having a preference towards it is different than a biological reality, right? You're talking about social preferences.
Well, no. I mean, if a guy wrote on his profile, what I'm looking for is I want to be a stay-at-home dad, and you earn the money, and I'm just going to sit at home and look after the kids.
And cook and clean.
How attractive is that going to be?
Wait, but conversely, do you think anybody who's putting that on their Tinder profile is going to attract a mate? Like, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom.
If you put that, I'm swiping right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you put that same bio, I want to stay at home, I want to raise kids, I like cooking and cleaning and doing laundry, swipe right.
No, like what he framed it was that like I'm gonna mooch off of like my partner or whatever.
It's a hypothetical example, of course, but the point remains that would most women in general find that proposition to be attractive? Is that what they're looking for in a man?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that women don't have any faith when men say they're gonna do that shit. When men say, "Oh, I'm gonna take home,"
honestly,
I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna do
you
the
guys have
laundry. Women don't believe them. Women believe that, oh no, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to do that.
But would women-
because historically, men don't know how to do chores because they weren't taught to.
But would women viscerally find that attractive though? Would they find that viscerally arousing? The guy saying, "Yeah, I'm just gonna sit at home and watch daytime TV and look after the kids." And
No,
you can
if
go
a
out to
guy
work.
said, "Oh, I want to be a good father. I want to focus on raising my children, and like, you know, I'd be willing to like do the housework to be able to be a good father," I would find that attractive.
Okay,
It's
everybody's
not
different.
But anyways, it doesn't matter.
Most
We're
women,
getting
perhaps not, but like I can think of a ton of female archetypes now that would find that arrangement to be preferable. So if you're a woman who's worked your ass off to go through 4 years of college, you get your JD, you become a lawyer, and you are only looking to move up within your field, but you also want to have a family. And you want somebody there to care for your children.
Recipes, Kevin Sanders. This is exactly what happens. This is the rise of the childish family.
Would be extremely appealing to the
Why are
woman.
there no male action heroes who sit at home and look after the kids then? Why does James Bond not say, right, I'm going to put my feet up and look after the kids? Because that's not an archetype in general that women find to be viscerally attractive. And this is the point.
Well, you're talking about, standards that appeal to men, right? I would say that, like, most action films are geared towards the male gaze,
How
right?
many women watch?
All right, ladies. This is incredible. Hold on. You guys are just arguing. This is a ludicrous argument. Like, are we seriously sitting here arguing that women don't prefer men that are the breadwinners and leaders and providers? Like, here's the thing that he's trying to say. If a man puts on his profile, "I want to raise my kids and stay at home," etc., he will get far less matches than a woman that did the same. Why is that? Because men don't give a shit about a woman's ability to provision. However, women care a lot about a man's ability to provision. Now, what you said before, if a woman wants to go in and climb the ranks and make money, etc., that sounds great on paper, but guess what happens when women make more money and go up the social status? They want a man on their level, if not better. So as women make more money and get more status, they want a guy equal, if not preferably better. More. So women become victims of their success most of the time, and this is why career women chronically stay single, because they can't find a guy on their level that fulfills their hypergamous need to be with a man that is better than them. Women want a man who's superior to them in almost every way, and that's fine. But it's a biological difference. So I know what you're saying. Well, guys don't want to do chores, or if a guy didn't want to do chores, I'd be attracted to that. The reality is, for most women, that is at the bottom of the list. If there was a guy that's capable, they want a man to provide.
Would be attracted
They
to
want a man
that
because they want a man that could provide chores, and staying at home with the child is irrelevant to most women.
Exact to most women. If you like a scrub, okay, you like a scrub.
But that's
it's just
these are feminist women who just run around
But it's
from
just
college.
he's talking about the majority, and it's a fact. And don't be talking no more about
I can only
children
speak to
if you haven't
because I'm
had
trying to
children.
demonstrate how these social values are slowly going to
I
change.
don't care what you study or you don't know about maternity, don't talk about it.
Overnight.
But I think the important
Like what you said is absolutely true. If a man put in his Tinder bio, "I'm looking to be a stay-at-home father," I don't think that that's going to attract or entice most women. But slowly, if we encourage these social changes where women are empowered to enter
I love
the
that you
ranks.
brought this up. I'm writing a book on this. All these social changes you're talking about.
But women deserve less.
More money, get more successful, more educated than ever before. Guess what happened to relationships? Okay? Relationships are in the toilet. Women are less happy now than they've ever been, and they're more empowered than they've ever been. It's been going down since the 1970s that women approval ratings and happiness has gone down, while antidepressant medication, etc., has gone up. Also, relationships are in the shitter. Divorce rates are high. Women initiate 80% of divorces, and women are out-earning men in a lot of cities. A lot of women are having tough times dating and finding eligible bachelors. Matter of fact, there's an article that came out earlier this year that women said there's not economically attractive men. There's not enough for them to go around. Why is that? Because women care a lot about a man's finances versus men don't care about a woman's finances. So I get what you're saying. It should be a woman can go to work, have a guy at home, he takes care of the chores, it's not an issue. The problem is this, most women don't think like this. They want a man who's superior to them, not equal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What really interests me is whether this is, because you're arguing this is a societal thing. This is systemic imbalance within society. What I'm proposing, because of the fake, the Tinder hypothetical, is that actually this isn't societal. This is about what women desire and what they reward.
But even those preferences, are social, right?
What? This is some
Absolutely.
dumb
Wait,
leftist
no,
shit,
no, no,
yo.
no, 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 no. Wait.
You have to be
no,
careful
this is
going
just
down this
factual,
everything
and I'll
is
prove it to
social
you right
thing.
now.
You got to be really careful
Okay,
about this.
Literally, think about the Renaissance. Think about like the 1500s. What was considered the optimal form of a woman? It was a fat woman, literally. Like you could
fertility.
It
That was for fertility.
No,
Since you brought
yeah,
up
no,
Renaissance,
wait,
no. You brought up Renaissance.
No, yeah,
A fat
yeah.
woman
Zena,
is for
let her finish her
fertility,
point.
bro.
Let her finish her point.
No,
Zena, go ahead.
You
Sure.
can say it was about fertility, but it was not just fertility. It was like, okay, fat women because it was a sign of wealth, it was a sign of prosperous, right? We had a period in time where being pale was seen as, oh, a beauty standard. And then once more people started working indoor jobs, then it became, oh, being tan is the new hot thing. So you can't tell me that like preferences aren't influenced by society because we have multiple examples of
Hold on. I'll answer that right now. Okay, but you know what? I love that you mentioned that. Oh, well, it's a sign of this and a sign of that. But preferences change by what men like. But what has stood the test of time since the beginning of human time?
The male physique.
The male physique, that's one.
What's found as attractive?
But what has been universally found as attractive by women since the beginning of time between...
I don't know if that male physique thing is a good idea, good example. If you look at the difference between like male action stars today versus like 20 years ago, like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were like the outstanding people. But like the ultra shredded, like the Marvel Roid program is a relatively new thing. Like if you look at the old like on TV Batman, that dude like, I don't want to say he was dad bod, but like Jesus, it was like nowhere near what you have today for some of the for like the standards for male physique.
Men and women relationships.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say, but it applies to men as well.
No, it doesn't. Hold on.
You don't think men are attracted to wealth?
Listen, men don't have the same innate need for resources and security that women do. And the reason for that is because a man can go out and fight a lion or a tiger, hunt it down, kill it, and eat it. A woman can't, and she especially can't when she has a child. A woman by herself cannot gather enough calories to feed herself and her child, especially when she's pregnant and she's more vulnerable. So since the beginning of time, women have needed males to go out there, hunt, and gather resources and calories. It's only in this clown world new times that we have that women think that they can actually do things on their own, which, you know what, that's fine, it's fantastic. But guess what? You're a slave to your biology. You still want a man that can provide and capable of providing, even if you make your own money. This is why women that make their own money, make $100,000 per year, still want a guy that makes about $156,000 per year. So what I'm saying is, you're saying, well, attraction trends change or whatever, but the one trend that has not changed at the beginning of time is women have always been attracted to men that have resources, money, and status. That is why Genghis Khan owns all of Asia, and like people walk around, there's a percentage of a bunch of Asians that have his DNA in them. This is why people, damn, okay. This is why, right, women have always shared one high value guy. Like, women are okay with sharing men because that's how important
They didn't share Genghis Khan.
In and of themselves.
They were into like being with these guys. That's kind of a weird. It's weird to present that as preferences.
That women have this maternal instinct to take care of their children.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're incentivized to prioritize these qualities in men because right now the social paradigms that exist lead to incentives that help women care for their children. So those, charismatic men, strong men, make them more inclined to be higher earners. Right.
Yeah.
But women would just as soon adopt lots of different strategies if they thought and like drop, traditionally masculine tendencies in men and become attracted to whatever they believed would help secure resources for their child. And that can look a lot of different ways, don't you agree?
It doesn't look like a soy boy pussy. It doesn't look like it. It looks like a tall guy that's toxically masculine, etc. Like, I know what you're saying, but you can't.
Not like the bastion of masculinity, in my opinion. He's kind of short.
But what does he have? Hold on. He has status and money. What did I say in the beginning? Status and money has
remember what I said when I coached her on this? You can't just say money, right? There's other types of resources.
We're providing examples that show that that's not always
one baseline, one thing that women care about the most, it is by far status and security. It's been that way since the beginning of time. That's why kings have had hordes of women. Elon Musk, even though
women aren't making those choices. Damn, I can't believe he's wheeling out these same arguments.
Extremely important to women when it comes to attraction. So what I'm saying is that you're saying trends change, blah, blah, blah. The one trend that has not changed at the beginning of time is women have always been attracted to status and money, looks, physique, etc. come after the fact, but they're attracted to that. So I know what you guys are saying. Yo, well, it shouldn't be this way. We should be able to be equal. You do some chores, I do some chores, etc.
Yeah, but
hold on. Look. You can't fight hard-wired attraction traits. I know you guys are trying really hard this podcast to do it, but you can't. You can't.
You want to change the
Okay.
social constructs.
No.
You guys are labeling hardwired attraction triggers as social constructs. That's ludicrous.
Can you let me finish?
over time.
That's ludicrous.
May I please finish?
Interestingly as well.
Wait, okay, Myron. I just want to say.
Can I just quote
Let's
something
say something
I
real
just
quick.
want
I'm
to
trying to
quote
say
something
something.
from a Renaissance
Sorry about
painting from a Renaissance artist, Leonardo da Vinci. And the quote's not exactly correct. It's not verbatim, but y'all can look it up. Her fat arc and full bosom was the firm sign of her ripe fertility. That's just the matriarch of all the Renaissance paintings and why the women were slightly thicker than natural. It was a form of fertility. You're not going to debate me on Renaissance, but yeah.
And that's
no,
a sign of love.
that proves
our
fertility.
point.
It was
Because
about
at one
fertility
point-
because women were seen as fertility since the dawn of time, just like the Sumerians, which was the first civilization, our first dated civilization. Women were the heart, men are the head. Men are the head because of logic, women were the heart because of emotion. And then the children were the womb, which is also interconnected through women. Men lead, women follow. Women were literally just the fertility, all right? They were protected. The men were the ones that went on the hunt. And that's how the whole story of the Anunnaki designed humanity is men would lead, men would fight, men would be the warriors, women would be the kept trophies in that sense. And that's how it's set up.
And then you have something we'll turn back to.
But hey, you can grow with somebody. Like, we're not telling you, oh, you got to be with somebody who makes more than you. No, like, you can grow with somebody and you can build an empire with somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm sorry. I got one more. And then we go back to, what's it called when they would fight in the cathedral. Women would choose the strongest warrior. This is known. Like, even in the Renaissance, this was so common. And in the Greek days, in the Athens, like, let's go, bro. The men would fight, the woman would choose the strongest man, and they would fight to their death.
Well,
Let's be real.
interestingly, the standards
No,
for male
they don't. That's why.
standards for male beauty, standards for male, physique have remained very consistent over the years. You just have to look at our ancient Greek statues.
Yeah, there
You'll
you
see
go.
the V taper,
Yep.
the broad shoulders, the abs, all the rest of it. It hasn't really changed.
Okay.
Which kind of underlines.
And then you were trying to say something as far as my argument, just to boil it down, and I think their argument is as well, is that there's hardwired traits that women look for in men, and it's not necessary. You guys are arguing that it's more of like a societal construct. We're arguing no, it's a biological construct that you can't necessarily debate. And though you guys are able to, I guess, rationally say in your heads, well, I would like a guy that's like this, the overwhelming majority of women would disagree with you guys.
I'm not trying to speak to my personal preferences and project them onto other people.
Okay.
I'm just trying to look at alternate explanations as to why it's been possible for these standards to change for women.
So are you
as
making
she
an argument that you
demonstrated.
don't even necessarily believe in?
What?
Are you making an argument that you don't even necessarily believe in or subscribe to for yourself?
No,
I mean, we're not even talking about my personal beliefs. I'm just trying to state descriptive realities here.
She's
These
illustrating
are
more than
observations
one
over like
reason.
historical
Okay, so
trends.
you're theorizing as to why women might like certain traits in men and saying that it's a social construct. My argument is that it's not a social construct, it's a biological
I'm
construct.
hypothesizing, but like what we were saying with fertility. Like at one point, the image of fertility for a woman was somebody who was slightly more overweight, chubby, Rubenesque. And now, what's more desirable? A chubby woman or a woman who has abs potentially and is like a lot more fit, right? Would you
But now
agree that that
society's
is like
more
that's
based
a
on
good
sex,
question?
and that's
You
a
also got to
sexual
remember
icon.
that what females are attracted to,
No,
right?
I'm talking about what men. I'm talking about
But men are
what
attracted to anything. We can't conflate what men are attracted to versus what women are attracted to. We're talking specifically about what women want. And the argument is that what women want is fairly regimented, right? And it's been since the beginning of time. Status and money has been important, which is why I am making the argument: if woman is left her own devices, she's almost always going to want a man that can provide security, and status and income are good indicators.
It's kind of steezy. But some people, they force it really hard, and it's unnatural, right? When they do it, it looks clunky and forced, and it just looks weird. And
What's the last one I'm filming? Just run it.
You get it? It's like you're forcing a movement that isn't happening.
Alright, with that
Okay, dude. Alright, dude. Okay, dude.
Fake Steve, bro. You don't skate like that. You land like a fucking ballerina? Oh, you're a hater. I'm a hater.
You're a hater.
Alright, bro.
I made a big vat of Orbeez, and I melted a bunch of aluminum to pour it in there.
But why?
The Orbeez are mostly made of water, so the molten metal goes in there and quickly solidifies. The hot liquid aluminum shined like a mirror as I poured it into the Orbeez. The metal instantly reacted and made a sizzling sound. I couldn't wait to see what kind of formation it made. And as I pulled the metal structure up out of the Orbeez, it quickly became apparent that this was something really cool. The liquid metal had flowed around each of the little watery spheres and then solidified. It made this structure that almost looked like coral. As I looked at it, I could
actually,
see all
it's
these
kind of
little
cool.
orbits
Actually,
stuck in the metal. As I shook the metal,
indicators of that. Everything else falls in line.
Right, but I'm saying that like.
But fashion and beauty standards, it's all targeted towards women. We're the only consumers. Men don't give a whether you're fat, ugly, got a crooked nose, or don't. And that's been the way it is since dawn.
But I'm curious.
I'm curious.
Like,
So wait, can I finish? I'm sorry. I just want to finish. So basically, you're talking about how the beauty standards went from women looking fat for fertility, and now they got BBLs and shit like that, right? That's us. That's us. That's not about men. That's not about what men like. Men are gonna smash no matter what you look like. You can look like Greta Thunberg, and you're still gonna get smashed at the end of the
I would
fucking
smash
day.
Greta
So
Thunberg.
you gotta have
I would not say that for all men. That's
Most
some
men. Okay, we're not talking about the slight percentage.
Well, maybe
No, but we are. Can I finish? No, baby. Right now, this podcast, what we're speaking about is the general population. We're not talking about the exception. I understand that completely. If I was a man, I wouldn't fuck Greta Thunberg, but it doesn't matter.
I would.
Now
I would.
he would, and he wouldn't. Now back to what I'm saying. The beauty, like the whole fashion industry and all the beauty stuff, is targeted towards us because we as women, we're our worst enemy. We judge each other. The men don't give a. They don't. We're the consumers.
This is so retarded. You think that women get BBLs and lip fillers for other women?
In fact,
It's
they
so
usually
stupid.
prefer you not to have makeup. Lashes, originally
God,
Cumbrellas, by the way,
she's such a
for
pick-me.
semen.
Men
no,
prefer you
they
not-
don't,
oh my
they don't care
God.
about that.
Oh,
we
kill
wear
me.
that because we're like, oh girl, your lashes look so good. Oh, mine are longer.
All right.
Oh my
That's not
God,
for
kill
that. Can I
me.
bring some-
metal structure, a lot of the multicolored
oh, that's cool.
fell out.
Because you're pouring it, the middle is gonna go deeper, but then and then it goes in. That's nice,
Often
yeah.
ask, why don't
Because
the
it has more
Orbeez
weight in
burn
the
up
middle.
and melt? And my only answer for that is that they're over 90% water, and water is a great heat sink for metal.
What?
What do y'all think of this sculpture?
Wait, I want to see what happened with the garbage fucking color in it. Wait a minute.
This is gonna make a mess. Go ahead, King. This is gonna make a mess. Easy.
Wait a minute. Wait, go.
With these 5 questions. Pause if you need more time.
I don't.
Mary is exactly 16 years old, and she's exactly 4 times older than her brother.
Then her brother is currently 60. The guy's 4. The guy's 4.
How old will Mary be when she's twice her brother's age?
When she's twice her brother's age, man. Twice her brother's age. Twice her brother's age. So there's twice her brother's age. There's a 12. So I guess you just add 12. Let's say we do 4. 24. That's now 5 times. Wait, what? No, that'd be 8. Then it'd be 8. 8, 20. 8, 20. 22, 10. 23,
Eximon 16 Bennett ruined the hat.
24, 12. 24.
While I smoke an imaginary cigarette. I think the police are coming for me because I found the black
Which of
mold
these
on my
words is
ceiling
an
and now
antonym
Hold
of
up.
intrepid?
What is the antonym? Intrepid. Intrepid. It's cowardly.
Cowardly.
Nice.
What letter comes next in this sequence?
JFMAM. JJ Ason. A. What? J. Bang bang bang. Huh? Oh, and L M N O P. Jet by JP by P.
December. Which one of these cities is the capital of a country?
The capital of a country. Sydney.
Rabat. If it takes 5 men 5 minutes to make 5 footballs, how long will it take 50 men to make 50 footballs?
So X 5X 5Y 5. Then 50.
5 minutes.
No?
Feeling down, can't seem to shake it. Weight on my chest, I can't fake it. Life's so hard. Sometimes it feels just like a drug. I keep pushing.
Eat good, say.
I got 5 bullets left in my dime. Gray magic clock, looking to fuck up someone's spine. Man, I do this all the time. Every time I hit the block, the cops is at the pig. Blanco never left the 7 board from LA to New York. Yeah, you know I settle scores. I tried to keep y'all up to date on my escapades. PS5 up in the Escalade, better than Esplanade. Walk up in my lemonade. Now them demons in my head to get some shade. Hold the tool out, then look at the mess I made.
Will my life change if I follow you Insta? No, probably goes down, dude. Will I get more muscles if I subscribe? Nope. I ask you build because it says not to, but I'm enjoying the new items. I don't know, I don't build new items. We don't Riftmaker this patch, still as shit as always. Once up at 10k damage? Okay. That's a new one. Maybe we could try some new build this game because you all want to see new builds, but like there's just nothing good to build. That's the issue. You can tell this is a support thing. Like, oh, good times. When you pick Karma Bit. Okay, that was not on me though. Rift? I'm not gonna buy Riftmaker, it doesn't even make any sense. They have Nocturne, are you dumb? I'm baiting. No, please don't kill me, no. Nice. Why did I missed the cannon? But Baird will handle it. Baird, you do anything? Well, at least Kha'Zix got a kill, I guess. The refill potion back. Oh shit, this isn't good. Oh, help. Help. Now this is what we business like to call a pickle. Okay, I think one Manta Q kills me though. But he's 0-3 on the hits with it. Bro, what? Just go around. What? Yeah. Okay, we're still alive. We just need to somehow. Okay, we are never getting this wave in. Oh, for fuck's sake. I was almost gonna stay. With this.
I'll be sure to come check out your set. Give it to me. I know she said things about us. It's something for me and you wanna love. Like you got a teen, I'm all about bucks. Everything that I felt is gone. Through my emotions all on them. I'm rocking out till I see them. I'm on the way to build this song. This place still holding me up. At the end of the ring, I'm on just like us. We on the team, please get from all us. I gotta stop until we go. I'm with this thing, I'm feeling. I'm rocking out till I see them. I wanna work to build this song. Yeah, back on the run. Don't come back for me when I'm up. All of these people BS about us. I'm sitting like a show, I'm just on us. I'm running out of here, I feel like a love. I'm with a man, call you keep telling come. We don't know how I feel, she's going international. You weren't there for material. Paid up, then don't got you and ain't fitted up. I'm on the stage for business, while you're wondering for business. And then you're chasing that back room stuff, cause you're never gonna take your call. I know she said things about us. It's something for me and you wanna love. Like you got a teen, I'm all about bucks. Everything that I felt is gone. Through my emotions all on them. I'm rocking out till I see them. I'm on the way to build this song. This place still holding me up. At the end of the ring, I'm on just like us. If you ain't on the team, please get from my best. I gotta stop until we go. I'm on the stage, I'm feeling. I'm rocking out till I see them. I'm on the way to build this song.
Whoa, yeah, rock out. I'm in it, it's on my top out. I'm back in my mode, you get knocked down. I'd rather be spread on my top down. I didn't really think that I would go make it. I came a long way for the drop out. Yo, I spent like 10 racks up, yo, I just did a check out. And I just did a back, so you got me. We gotta jump in and tell you lobby. I'm back in my mode, so you know you can't stop me. I'm living this shit, no, this shit ain't a hobby. Go, I don't really know what he on, I don't know why he wanna rob me. Go, we know that boy a peanut, I think that his flow way too sloppy. Go.
This was a big mistake. You and me working together. You got no clue what it takes to survive in the real world. Just wait. I will find you and take back. If I do first.
on longsword plus 3-pot start. I mean, I've done that like multiple times, but doesn't make any sense here. Maybe Ezra can go mid. I think it's good in lane, you need sustain. But that's not sustain though. How is that sustain? It's just one more potion, which is 120 HP. And you lose HP, so it doesn't make any sense at all. What? Zero, this is why you don't backseat.
Was kann ich für euch
You're
tun?
just stupid. It doesn't make any sense at all. So mean. But how is it sustain? I'm not backseating trying to find if something's good or not. Okay, but think about it like this. If you go Doran's Ring 2 potions, then you get 70 HP. Right? I'll explain it to you soon. I have to kill them first. I needed thing instinct to not go through. I have stacks on him, so I'll open. What was I talking about? 7 HP, another thing is. What the fuck? Okay, Zero. If you're talking about mid Twitch, the Doran's Ring gives 70 HP and 2 potions. And you're going AP, so it's always better for the scaling, right? So you lose out 50 HP for a longsword, which you're not gonna do anything with. So, like, you don't get any sustain from it. Does that make sense? And Riftmaker is still the worst fucking item in the game. Don't fucking touch me!
Das wird kein sauberer Kampf, also haltet besser
I don't want to give my
Abstand.
shot on tonight.
Nun gut, sind alle bereit?
Melee matchups? Yeah, but in theory longsword isn't even more damage. You can do longsword if you think that he goes MR rules. Then it can work. It can work into like Silas. But you're gonna find the Doran's Ring just feels better in every situation anyway. You know, I can't even tell if I think. Oh my god, they're setting up a tent. I swear to God, he was too
Ihr bekommt noch genug Blut zu sehen, keine Sorge. Ihr sterbt, aber nicht als wahrer Cool-Tyranner.
Okay, the cat. Okay, the cat 6 mechanics. Nice. Yeah. That was the most useless thing I've seen in my life. What? Why was he so useless?
Ihr sterbt, aber nicht als wahrer Cool-Tyranner.
That was crazy. He was like, he was fighting so hard for his life, and then he just fell over and died.
Heute fliegen im wahrsten Sinne des Wortes die Fetzen.
Oh! Oh my god, what? That was crazy. Wait, it was actually crazy though. We'll ping him. His name is Barley. Yeah, bad coming in though. Knock R in here. Fuck. I need him to jump on him and then I knocked into R. Sweet home. Alex has been slain. Get out of there, bit. this is unbelievably awkward. Maybe he is stupid.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Really? Wow. Ah! Ah! Oh my god, Gragas! Wait, Karma? Gragas! I'll save you, Gragas! Run!
Ihr seid hier zu meiner
No, he
Unterhaltung
designed it.
versammelt.
Ah.
Ich meine, euch zu beweisen.
It's really intense. Nocturne R, right? Wow. That team might be the best in the world. I don't know what Milo does. I know she shoots a ball, which like throws you away. That's all I know. And her ult is like a QSS or some shit.
Zeit für ein
But usually just run into the
Spektakel.
champ and hope to kill it.
Enttäuscht mich nicht.
Should be fine. Holy shit, we missed. That's actually better because Milo is a he. But if I call Rek'Sai a he, which I always do, why do you guys care about that? Isn't Rek'Sai a girl? I always call Rek'Sai.
So knapp. Das bedeutet nur mehr Spannung für mich.
Now
Interessant.
someone's gonna make a joke about
Das
Rek'Sai.
habe ich nicht erwartet.
What are we waiting for?
An ally has been slain.
Holy shit.
Shut down.
Oh my god! Oh, this Gragas is crazy!
Double kill.
Holy shit. That what?
Hi, Mr. Rast. Hope you're
I was
enjoying
trying to get a
your day.
crazy E there to like. That was smart. Oh yeah, it didn't get changed. Hmm. That guy's such a fucking big. Okay, Nocturne's dead. Almost. God knows what the. Ah, for fuck's sake.
A summoner has disconnected.
Okay, we got 25. That's not bad. This has to be in a support main, right? Wow. I don't belong here.
Es ist ein klarer Tag
I
mit
don't.
besonders günstigen Winden. Perfekt für ein Rennen.
Just gotta believe it, man. Gotta believe it.
Kill me.
Okay, so
Well, are we done with this topic
beauty
before we move on
standards
to
is
something
about
else?
women. It's
The-
about
the-
women.
The argument was simply, we're saying attraction is not necessarily a choice or a social construct like you guys are trying to argue,
No,
and you
I'm
guys
not,
saying
I
it's a
don't even
social construct.
disagree with you. That's a problem. Like when you're saying, oh, there's like these biological imperatives
Yeah.
to be attracted to someone, I'm not
Yeah.
even disagreeing with you. I just think that it's not 100% relegated to just what women want. So, for example, men. Can I finish? Please don't make the faces. let me say what
It's
I was
fine.
saying first.
I know what
Okay,
you're.
so-
Go ahead, continue.
Well, I know
Ihr könnt
this
alle
for
ein
a
paar
fact because
Ressourcen
historically
gebrauchen.
speaking, marriage, right? Men,
Wie
even
sagt
like marrying
man,
other women, were women of
fürs
wealthy
Überleben
families,
des
right? So we're
Stärkeren.
talking about, oh, arranged marriages to accumulate more wealth. So you can't tell me that, oh, men aren't attracted to, maybe they don't want them in modern society to out earn them, but maybe a woman who is making a ton of money is more attractive than a woman who makes almost like no money if they're both working. So that's just an easy example, right? The point that I'm trying to illustrate here is that people in general, men and women, want stability in relationships. Like, are you really telling me that you want a girl, like the girls that were here earlier, right?
gemacht.
Screaming around,
Ihr
like
und euer
very
Flugdrache
angry,
seid
upset,
begnadet.
just like throwing shit around in a relationship? It doesn't seem that most people want that. Most people want stability. Most people want to be wealthy. So to be like, oh no, this is only something women want, doesn't.
Well, I don't think men find wealth in women viscerally attractive.
No.
Again, it comes back to this visceral attraction thing. And actually, if you read Dickens or Shakespeare, there's plenty of stories where there was an arranged marriage that was going to take place, and the guy's actually, no, I actually really fancy the serving girl down the road, and he wants to have an affair with her because he's not viscerally aroused by the woman who's wealthy.
Or visual
But we're only talking about preferences, right? I'm also interested in like how outcomes factor into this, because I think the reality is that like rich people are gonna marry other rich people, middle class people are gonna marry other middle class people, and lower income people are going to marry other low income people. That's just who you're around.
Byron's gonna say women date up. He's gonna say that, but it's gonna be within their income brackets.
Men don't have these socioeconomic barriers like you guys are trying to say. A rich man will gladly take a woman that's poor and make her rich.
Oh my God.
Versus a rich woman will almost never take a poor man and make him rich.
They probably would, but do you think that like
they're not even in the same areas of society? They're not in the same areas of society.
Because men,
super rich men just aren't even meeting super poor women. You just don't intersect. You're in different schools. You're in different jobs. Your parents have different friends. You've got different groups of people you hang out with. You're in like totally different areas. They don't even intersect that much.
don't marry and get with women to look for a provision or a security like women do for men. Like, this is crazy to me that you guys... This is ludicrous.
No, I am saying, this is not mental gymnastics. It is a logic, it is literally factual that people marry within their income bracket. Most people don't want to marry down. Are there some men who will want to marry somebody who's hot but poor? Sure, but the vast majority of people marry within their income bracket. We can Google this right now.
Here's the thing, ladies.
Hold on, wait, guys. Billionaires are like trying to snatch up all the like local baddies and stuff like that. Like,
you guys are missing the point. You guys are missing the point. Like, you guys do realize that men don't put as much stake in a woman's ability to earn money as women put in a man's ability to earn money, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah. We have.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah, we never disagree with that.
So therefore, a man, right, knows I have to be the resource creator to a degree, and I would argue the more money a man has, the less he cares about a woman's income. The more he's more concerned with is she attractive? Is she fertile? Is she gonna be a good wife?
Right, but the type of women that he's gonna find himself in the company in anyway are probably going to be women of a similar socioeconomic
background. Are men always complaining about being afraid of getting gold digged? Like, that's a common trope. Like, they're constantly saying, oh no, I don't want a gold digger, I don't want a gold digger, she's just after my money. So a lot of men, like,
there is a screening process here, right?
there is even more of an incentive to marry within your income bracket if you're afraid of finding the gold digger.
You guys are looking, I've realized what's going on here. You guys are looking through the lens, through a female lens. Like, you guys are looking at the dating market. Well, no, hold on, let me rephrase. You guys are looking at the dating market through a female lens.
Maybe more
so
walls?
For you guys think income and status, etc. is important. So a guy would want that. Let me tell y'all, attraction is not symmetrical. It's asymmetrical. The things that you guys look for, security, provisioning, height, income, the ability to provide and protect, etc. That's what y'all want. We want youth, beauty, fertility, chastity, not being a whore, not gonna embarrass me. Those are far different things. So guess what? Provisioning and security is really nowhere in there for a guy.
Here's the thing, if I have a kingdom and I marry you and you're a dishwasher, you become the queen. If you're a queen and you marry me, I'm the queen's bitch.
Yeah,
I don't become the king.
I'm a dishwasher.
You can't bring me up, but I can bring you up.
I'm asking you, how often does that happen? Because obviously what y'all are trying to illustrate is that a rich man is not going to be scrutinizing the economic background of his potential mistresses and wives, correct? You're saying it's irrelevant to
Not to the same degree a woman will.
I'll give you that any day of the week. That is probably true. But I'm saying you're discounting the degree to which, like, they disregard it at all. Or like, I'm just curious, what circumstances would attractive but poor women be interacting with, like, very wealthy men in
the most wealthy women in the world? You do realize the most
They're gonna go by billionaires.
Almost all of them got their wealth through divorce.
You're talking about like
that was created by
20 women.
Men.
When you talk about like billionaire women, like this is like such an off. It's
that
such
doesn't prove that men will marry down significantly. I don't know what else will.
What is Jeff Bezos' wife's background? Where did they meet?
Their economic backgrounds prior to, like, when they got married and whatnot. But if I had to guess, Jeff Bezos and what's his name? Mackenzie Bezos, prior to their marriage and when they first got married, were already from very similar
What is the
economic
concrete
and social
argument that you guys are trying to argue
maybe
now?
they were
Okay, I get what they're saying because like wealthy people are around wealthy people. That's not why she was attractive. Just because they're in the same space. Jeff Bezos didn't marry Mackenzie because she was from a wealthy background. She was just around. Mackenzie married Jeff because he was the fucking man.
No, that's not true. I just looked this up right now. It seems like this chick was insane. I could be wrong, but she was named after her maternal grandfather, G. Scott Cumming, who worked as an executive general counsel at El Paso Natural Gas. She remembers seriously writing at the age of 6 when she wrote a 142-page book, which was destroyed in a flood. It doesn't sound like she was just like, and then she went to fucking Princeton, where she got her bachelor's degree in English. And she studied under Nobel laureate in literature, Toni Morrison. This is not like a random fucking girl that Mackenzie Scott was just like a random fucking server at Starbucks that Jeff Bezos just happened to sweep off her feet. Like,
She married him way before Amazon was even a pipe dream.
Well, she knew he was gonna be the man. She saw the potential.
oh my God.
I don't think every rich woman who marries
After graduating from college, she worked in an administrative role for hedge fund D.E. Shaw in New York City, where she met Bezos.
rich man is just because of the potential as much as it
But that's what's attractive
because we're
about
on
him.
the same level. What's attractive is wealth and stability. No
And
disagreement
his ambition
there.
too. Ambition is not attractive in a woman.
I don't
She literally was working at a hedge fund when they, not as like an investor to be fair, but still like.
So I can't speak for Mackenzie and Jeff's
There's
personal
other ways to
relationship.
demonstrate ambition besides just educational attainment, right?
Sure, but it doesn't matter.
Ambition
like-
making a sandwich is attractive to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
I wanna
applying
see
it
you
to
scrub
domestic work.
that
That's my
floor.
point.
Spread
Is that
that
you can find
Some
ambition.
dedication in your
And
mopping.
what you're trying to say is a masculine characteristic. You already demonstrated a way it can be applied towards things that you do find attractive. So if a woman is ambitiously, cooking.
She was a custodian at the hedge fund. Could you source me that? Watching Yo back? Because it said there it looked like she was working in administration. But I'll wait for your source eagerly.
Dinner for you, as silly as that sounds.
Ambitious career-wise is not attractive.
joke.
Like we don't care what career you guys want to do. It makes no difference.
Yeah, because you
I think
guys are
just being
incels.
contrarian to be contrarian. I'm trying to figure out what the argument is here.
Oh my God.
It's just a societal construct.
They're emotional
what
ones.
you guys
Very
are still sticking on
emotional
that.
ones.
She's
Women,
going back and forth.
We just like to hear ourselves talk.
Hold on, let her. Okay, so what is your argument concretely? Because I think we've debunked already that attraction is a societal construct. I mean, from the female perspective, I would say it's fairly hardwired in biology from a security needs standpoint, and we've established that several times here. But what else?
What happens if I try to
feel like
land
we're
and there's
just
no
going in
space
circles, so I'll
to
just try
land
to summarize
here?
it as best I can.
You think?
Yeah, y'all were going in circles.
By the way, she just means to be primarily participating in
Send us our headaches, man.
Oh yeah.
No, because you've been enjoying it. Like,
No, it's good. It's good debate.
Is that headache for you?
Here's the thing. I mean,
You're not having okay, like I don't have a headache. I'm having fun like learning from y'all, like seeing
On the
the
show,
show.
I wouldn't get married to that. You know?
That's fine. Like you can have your individual preferences and stuff like that. I think sometimes you guys make like these huge extrapolations from like broad statistical averages and like understanding your social preferences or your own preferences and necessarily assume that they must be.
No, we're gonna check this out. All I'm simply saying is that what women are attracted to is typically hardwired in biology, and the majority of women share the same preferences and wants in men because it's hardwired in their biology. It's very simple. Like things we've stated are fairly universal as far as like what women are attracted to in men.
Yeah,
Exactly,
And the point that we're
universal
trying to
in
make,
What's the point you're trying to make? Go ahead.
which I guess we're going to just end up agreeing to disagree, but whatever, is that there are these traits, stability, wealth, that everybody wants. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be stable.
That's not true.
The vast majority, just because one person doesn't want it, doesn't mean the fact that the vast majority want that stuff.
Okay.
So when you say like, oh no, this is just what women want, this is just what women want, it seems like it's very short-sighted because this is everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be stable.
Okay, I think the key here, though, is that men are not looking to become rich and stable
By marrying
through
you.
a woman.
We want to go get it. Would you rather? You ask the panel, like all the women, I already know the answer. They would rather get married to a rich man than become rich themselves. Except for the feminists. The feminists, you just want to be men, real bad. Every other girl here was like, yeah, I would rather marry the rich guy, right?
Absolutely.
Would you marry the rich guy?
Like she's correct when she says that humans want to be stable and wealthy. Agree.
We get it two different ways.
But we prefer to get it in different ways. Women would prefer to get it through a man. A man would prefer to get it through himself and then share it with a woman. Here's the difference between a man and a woman. When a man makes money and becomes, in a certain position, he says, wow, I can get a woman and a child to be dependent upon me. When a woman makes money, excess resources, she says, I'm independent of a man. We are very different in how we move when we make excess resources. You don't see men running around coming out with songs, all the independent women, all the independent men. Like, men understand intrinsically, when we make money, we're already, we have to be independent. But when women make it, I'm independent.
Like you're demonstrating how, like, at your discretion, you will make certain choices to make sure that that wealth is locked up at the end of the day in yours, right? Like, even though you want to use, like a wealthy man, hypothetical, right? He marries somebody of a lower socioeconomic factor,
Yeah.
okay? he's not just going to share and bestow wealth upon this woman in the way that you're implying.
He absolutely will.
I think he will.
You don't think he's gonna get a prenup?
A prenuptial agreement?
Do you guys know how many men don't get prenuptial agreements that have money?
People in general are not getting prenup. I think everybody should set up a
Men get
prenup.
destroyed by divorce in the West, and we can talk about this if y'all really want to. If you guys want
they
to
want to do the
But point
divorce
is that men
argument
are far
now.
more willing to share their resources with than women are. This is why women rarely marry men that make less money than them, unless that guy is like maybe he's going to be a doctor soon or whatever. Women aren't stupid when it comes to marrying like men are.
So if you, okay, so
Men are
you're
very
thinking as a
foolish
man.
when they get
You're unmarried, right?
Yes.
Did you? Of course.
Of course. Marriage is a bad contract for men.
Scam in the West.
Okay, but of the wealthy men who get married, you don't think that they have, if they have the resources to have mansions and all sorts of other luxuries in their life, you don't think they have an accountant and a lawyer telling them, dude, you gotta lock down your fucking resources?
Why the fuck is Mackenzie Bezos the richest woman alive?
What, we're
Because
talking
men
about,
are
we're talking about like one person.
talking about
I'm
women?
like,
The
if we're talking
Kardashians,
about,
there's more. Kardashians, they
I know
got their
there's
money
more
off
than
of
just
men.
like,
They got their money off
citing
of
just
men.
one, literally one example.
It's interesting how sugar dating has become such a big thing now. And the paradigm, the fundamental paradigm of sugar dating, yes, there will be exceptions, but in general, what is the fundamental paradigm? It is that younger, attractive women get together with guys who are older and they take care of the provisioning, and there's that sort of value exchange. It's interesting that that's become such a big thing, and that suggests to me that actually the nature of that relationship is actually hardwired in human behavior.
In every male and female, hold on. In every female and male like courtship or whatever, the man is expected to pay for the date. The man is expected to pick her up. The man is expected to foot the bill. The man is expected to be the breadwinner in the household. Like the sugar dating, etc. In general, when a man deals with a woman, he is expected to shell out money versus a woman is never expected to shell out money.
But is that the outcome? Is that what's happening? Because I thought y'all were saying like
For a
feminism
successful
has
outcome.
destroyed, you know, chivalry.
For a
all sorts of
successful
habits.
outcome, hold on. If that guy wants to get laid and actually be attractive, he better fucking pay. If I wanted to date with a majority of women and I told her, let's split this thing,
Your pussy dries
I'm
up.
not fucking, bro. And that's the reality. Maybe y'all are okay with 50-50. Most women are not.
But do you know why historically that has been the demand? Like, do you know why historically women have been
Because women don't share resources with men in general.
Or because women
don't.
historically haven't been
Women
able
have
to
resources to share. That's the thing that we're trying to point
They
out.
were legally not allowed to have
Even now,
jobs to get
women have
their
jobs.
education.
Women
But
have, the girls that we go on dates with, everyone goes, they have money. They still don't want to pay.
As we said before, right? Like, first of all, societal changes.
Why are women popping bottles in the club and inviting dudes?
Okay. Historically, right, change takes time. But on top of that, like, as we pointed out before, women and men tend to take the characteristics or follow the paths of the people they see ahead of them, right? So, as we explained with the Dana Scully effect earlier, women see, oh, Dana Scully, she's like super into like science, etc. I want to now pursue a career in that. There's a spike in women doing that. Similarly, when it comes to like finding ways to make wealth, oh, hey, guess what? We see that a bunch of women are marrying rich men, whatever. That's for the longest time the only way women can get wealth.
Okay, let's move on now. The quiet girls on the panel, do you want to pay for a guy on a date?
Absolutely not. What do I need with you if I'm going to pay for you?
The model, would you like to pay for a guy on a date? Okay, and you make your own money, correct? Yeah, right. So why is that a societal construct or is it just something unattractive? You just want the guy to be able to provide for you.
Yes, and I've paid multiple times for on dates, and it doesn't feel like a date. So it's not a date. Yeah, so yeah.
Have you guys?
You? Yeah, they pay for dates and shit. They're trying to be men.
I've never been on a date.
Oh my God.
So then why are you talking about?
I wish you'd say that.
This is what I'm saying. They haven't lived it. They haven't lived it.
So what are you talking about?
Have you guys dated a billionaire? Have you guys dated a billionaire?
No.
Have you guys built an empire with somebody with a brokey? Bro,
I'm single.
You guys haven't lived it. So what the fuck? This is what I hear. Statistics.
Oh my God, I want to be there
According to my
so
calculation,
bad.
bro, y'all not lived it. Now let me talk. Because I lived it.
Who is she? What does she live, dude? Oh my God.
You guys study most of your life. I respect that. I wish I could date. Multiple. Yeah. Let me finish. Go ahead, Queen. Go, Queen. All right. Y'all have studied most of your life.
Educational background.
Let me talk because I let you talk. Okay. So let me finish because I'm pissed. You guys have spent most of your. I respect it. I wish I could have studied, but I just wasn't that type of person. Stupid. You know, I just wasn't that type of person. So I lived a lot. I've dated a billionaire, and currently I'm dating a little boy that I'm making money off of. So I've lived both. So let me finish. For 2 weeks. You guys are mad that he's talking in general. But since you guys are females, you guys take it emotionally personal. Okay?
You're the one right now who's being a little bit
You
emotional.
guys are still cutting her off. Can she speak? Y'all have been speaking for 2 fucking hours. Like, if he told me something like on Brianna, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna be like, what the statistics? No. So,
I mean, I don't know about that.
there's like the Matrix, right? Like the Matrix. There's the blue pill and the red pill for the females, okay? So, you guys are the red,
She
right?
dated
You
a
guys wanna be the
billionaire?
bosses?
No,
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with building an empire with
it's gotta be
somebody.
misunderstood.
But
She wouldn't
he's gonna
claim
be your
that.
bitch, and you will not have
Right,
respect
if she
for
did,
him.
she's
And he won't cheat. That's the pro. That's the pro.
Wait, did she say that? Did I miss that?
Okay, now we got what he's talking about. Most females prefer billionaires, but the cons is that you're gonna have to share him. That's a fact. And you're gonna be
just
pretty
not-
much his slave. So it's your decision,
Kill
and there's
me.
nothing wrong with that. Everybody, let me finish. Everybody's different, and he's just talking
She
about
did say that? She
in
didn't say
general.
that.
And you guys are taking it personal. But he's talking in general. That's it.
I want to make a point about. Can I say something?
For 2 hours. She claims that they're 2 billionaires. And y'all are saying like nothing about economic backgrounds or anything. What they prioritize at the end of the day, fertility, abuse. She's gorgeous.
Thank you. You guys are super intelligent.
You're
I
gorgeous.
wish my parents paid for my school. I wish I could study.
Wouldn't you have ended up with a billionaire if the only thing that men, rich, poor, middle class, if all they look about is looks?
I'm gonna tell you why I haven't ended up with a billionaire. Because honestly, y'all think it's easy. It's not. Like, yeah, like I love it. Like I would love to stay at home and not do shit.
Keep it on the streets.
But you gotta share
Did
him.
you reject him or did he reject you?
No, I can do it with
What, you
whoever.
wanted to
And I'll
choose?
show you the DMs. I got Neymar in my DMs.
Wait,
And I curve him. I can have whoever I want.
I got who did she say?
Did you reject them? But what does that matter? I rejected
Not the
and
cat.
Alex Monopoly.
Not the cat.
You rejected 2 billionaires.
Yes.
Why was it? Because you wanted to cheat?
Okay, but
No.
not even. If y'all are saying that women care
Listen,
about...
Oh my god, that's the biggest f***ing cap in the world. Oh my god.
Money is not the only thing.
All right, ladies.
You're right. Money isn't the only thing. That's exactly why I rejected a billionaire, because I'm a real ass bitch. I'm not like these bitches. Oh my god. He was acting like a silly ass dumbass, and he a billionaire, but he's silly to me. He's
But
still a
Marin's
goofy.
been saying that women are always going to play.
What she's saying here, if she did reject a billionaire, what she's saying is he was goofy to me, he was good to me. What she's saying is she didn't reject a billionaire to date. She probably rejected him because he just wanted to and I bet he did hit it at least once, and now she's mad that she can't get anything more with him. That's what she means to say, but she doesn't have the balls to actually say that.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Also, I doubt it was a f***ing billionaire. She's probably making it.
Why was he so
Or she's using one guy and she's doing another team or whatever you guys are saying soccer. Bullshit. Because no offense, but like if you're in that area, you're not reaching down to chicks like this unless you're seeing them like and it's part of like a threesome or you're like at a club or they're just like there. These guys are not reaching out to people like this. I'm sorry, that's just not the case. I know that these guys are trying to sell you that shit, but no shot. No offense.
He was acting like I just didn't catch the vibe, but bitches stay there like acting like they like acting, but just because he got money.
What do you mean by he was kind of pussy?
Disrespectful. Not pussy, but he was just acting mad goofy, and also some of them are aggressive.
Hey, what's up?
Bro,
True. Actually true. I think I saw Bezos in her DMs, yeah.
She was. You'd be surprised. There's like a few athletes who now hit the whole billionaire status, and they be banging each other on a regular basis.
Like this?
Yeah. When she says she was a billionaire or whatever, it's not like he was like, let's go to dinner one-on-one. She was put on a yacht, and she was a regular, and she was getting turned down by super rich people.
I'm not trying to be mean to this person, no offense, but she's not a billionaire yacht. She could make it onto like a Miami yacht, but she's not pretty enough to be on one of those yachts. She's probably never seen a billionaire in her life. A billionaire? A billionaire? That's a lot of money. Maybe some millionaire, maybe some guy on a team with a billionaire, but a billionaire? This chick? No shot. I'd bet my life savings on it.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you seen like the pictures of billionaire yachts and the women on there?
So like some Leonardo DiCaprio shit.
I've seen enough of them. I've even seen the athletes who've now hit the $1 billion plateau, and the women that they're with.
How many athletes are even worth $1 billion?
There's a few.
What, like Ronaldo
they're not
or?
Like at $1 billion, they're like at 800 billion.
Okay, well that's.
There's a bunch of athletes who like hit that range. These are the kinds of women. If you see some of the cases that are brought against some of these now billionaire athletes, you see the women that brought, they look like her or even ugly. The whole like notion that these guys are gonna take women who are like dimes of dimes, that's not true. That's cap. They'll take hot, like 8s and 9s, and they'll put them on a yacht and run right through them.
Sure, yeah, that's. I mean, I said before, like, if she did, she's probably the reason why she's quote unquote turning them down is because they once and she's mad she didn't get anything more. But I don't believe anything the women on these shows say. I don't believe it. Why the f are they like on these little programs, like scrounging around for like any type of cut or whatever? Meanwhile, they're like actually like hooked up with billionaires on their yachts and shit.
You want to know what it is? Because with a billionaire doesn't put any money. So
yeah, but neither does going on f***ing Fresh and Fit. I mean.
Agreed, but at least for them it's clout. Like their whole thing is everything is about them is relevant. Everything that makes them relevant. So they'll do interviews, they'll do podcasts, they'll do whatever it takes. Because at the end of the day, the way that they got discovered is because of this stuff.
Sure, I can agree with that in theory, but that's not what happens. None of these girls go on to do anything. A lot of these girls have like 1 to 5,000 followers. Somebody can find her on Instagram. You guys know, look, it's usually tagged in the thing. But a lot of these girls have like 1 to 5,000 fucking followers on Instagram. They don't get any clout off this. They don't do anything.
No. But she, I promise you, she's well above. I'd be very shocked.
Well above 20 what?
20K.
Oh. Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll find it, but I don't think anybody
builds. Let's do over under. Want to do over under?
Like how far over, how far under were we betting?
Yeah. Give me the number that you think she's on the and out there.
I guess. Well, now you make me want to play it safe. I'm gonna put her at. Oh shit! Somebody said she's got an OnlyFans too.
I promise you, she's got a pop in Instagram. I can already.
I'll give it 10 that fuck out. I'll get it. If she's got an OnlyFans, she might have more. I'll fucking I'll ballpark it at 10K, but I don't know. If she's got an OnlyFans, she might have like 150K.
Easily triple. I'll put her at over 30. You got 10K on. Okay, you'll have under 30K. I got above 30. How about that? I'm being generous. Let me see if I'm right. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll hold my L. But I believe. what's crazy about this economy now is like even getting to 10K because they got
millionaire. Yeah, I'm only drawing the distinction between a millionaire and billionaire is a big difference. That's like the difference between a millionaire and fucking like some rando on the street.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and I think the image that you have of billionaire is one thing, but I think the women who start fucking these dudes don't look that drastically different. Like it's not this exponential thing where the women continuously get hotter and hotter. But hey, I mean, I don't think it's that important. You watching this whole thing, what have you been thinking watching this of them on Fresh and Fit?
I hate all these people so much, except for my two friends.
Wait, your friends or the women?
Pixie and Aaron are two of the girls on this right now, and I'm watching them go through the fire. But
are they doing a good job?
They're doing okay. I feel like I do a better job at communicating at like appropriate levels rather than making everything like super academic.
Yeah, people watch the show and they're like, "Oh, I would have said this. I would have said this." And they get in the environment, they realize it's not literally as easy to get your points across or to make them cogent in a way that works well now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because they'll watch everyone else like, "Why didn't you hit him with this statistics and this and stuff?" And like, she brought up all those stats and whatever she said, and look, maybe like by the point it probably makes sense. But all they had to say is like, "You're being emotional. You're being a woman." And like the crowd and everybody just lost it. And it probably rattled.
Maybe, yeah. But okay. Well, I want to finish watching this. I gotta catch up because we might be going out to eat after, so I gotta.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
I'll
Hold on, wait, we have to find out. Did you find out what's the link to this? I don't have a link to this thing.
I don't know if this is hers, but somebody linked this one. Oh, she has 40K. There you go. I don't know if that's her or not, but somebody in chat said
40K?
Yeah, if that's her.
I tell you, bro.
I still don't think she's been on any billionaire boat, though. Maybe millionaire, I'll agree with you, but I don't think people realize how rare billionaires are. Even that Ronaldo dude is only worth 500 million. I say only, but billionaire is really rare. I don't know if you can get to billionaire by being an athlete or a musician. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I think LeBron James was hit a billion.
Maybe LeBron, maybe.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Okay, but anyways, go back to watching. I won't keep you.
Okay.
As long as she hit over 30, I'm good.
All right, have fun.
Some of them treat you bad. Some of them have problems, and most of the times these men go through a lot. They go through a lot. So you have to be their emotional support. You have to be their psychologist. You got to be there for them, and that's a lot of energy.
But you're saying, to keep it real, you literally rather be with a broke dude over a
No, I'm not saying. At the moment, I'm experiencing something. I'm doing an experiment. Which is different.
You're saying
a social experiment, but I have because I experience in life. Because I'm experiencing life.
The fact that you're even willing and like to be with somebody who makes a guy who makes a lot less money, like a broke dude, right, over a billionaire. Doesn't that speak to our point? How there are factors in relationships for women.
If we put forward that, you'd say it was anecdotal because she's one individual.
Do you want to talk about anecdotal? Can we talk about anecdotal? I dated 3 bum-ass niggas that were beta males that didn't make money. I paid for everything. I took care of them. I made them money. One of them is kind of semi-successful now because of me, because I built that nigga the fuck up. Exactly. Am I in a relationship with him? No. Now we're talking anecdotal. Don't cut me the fuck. I'm speaking. Let me talk because we ain't cut you out. Respectfully, let me speak. Respectfully, let me speak. I'm a respectful panel because I love this panel. We're not on the streets. Now, anecdotal experience-wise, I got. Calm down. I'm good. Anecdotal experience-wise, I dated 3 bum-ass niggas that were nobody, had no money. I took care of everything. Why I'm not in a relationship with him? Question me on that. Why? Because he was a beta male. They all were, and I got tired of it. Because as a woman, I want to be taken care of. I don't want to be
This is the Ronaldo guy, right? I see 490 million.
My biological.
You said that you did it 3 times though.
Yes, and I tried it 3 times. 3 times and I failed. Yeah.
You think you're disagreeing, but you're actually two sides of the same feminist coin. Like she's saying she's a real ass bitch. It's a masculine attitude.
She said Neymar, not Ronaldo.
You both were part of the feminist society that masculinizes women, and that's why they find it's harder to settle down. Even when the guy's a billionaire, they don't know how to detach their ego. Before this feminist nonsense, she would have settled down.
So you're saying she should have been with a billionaire. That's what you're saying. She should have detached from her ego and been with a billionaire.
It's harder because women are taught to be more masculine now, like you.
So now you're saying it's about socialization. I thought you were saying these biological urges trump everything.
All right, ladies, let me. So it's very simple. See, you guys are looking at this like one side. What you don't realize is that female attraction is extremely complex and it's a multivariate analysis.
I agree with you.
So, but if we're going to go on hierarchies of what women prioritize, I'm going to put status and money as number 1. That gives you the ability to come in and at least start the interaction. Then she's going to look at, is he physically attractive? Height, physicality, etc. Okay, he meets my physical requirements. Now comes the charisma and the charm, which is where the billionaire probably failed for her. He wasn't attractive when she says, I didn't catch a vibe with him. Translation, he didn't charm me, he didn't woo me, he was boring, he was lame, he talked about stocks all day, and I didn't like that. So with women, it's a multivariate analysis of what they're attracted to. You guys are looking at it, money status, that's it. No, it gets your foot in the door.
I thought that was your point.
I'm saying it starts there. It gives the man the opportunity, it gives him the ability to get his foot in the door. But the door is still closing. He's got still other attraction triggers. Like when a guy walks up to you, you're like, wow, he's handsome. Let me give him a chance. And he opens his mouth. Like, okay, I'm good. This guy's a
lame. So with men, it's very difficult because they have to have a bunch of things in check to be attraction. Every single to be attracted to women. Money just buys you. Maybe you got a Lamborghini. Maybe you're a billionaire. Maybe you're a millionaire. It buys you an extra 10 seconds to introduce yourself and not immediately get rejected. That's all it really does in the long scheme. So, and when the girl's attractive and she has options like her, she's able to reject them because she has other men of higher status that are also pursuing her. This is what happens.
That too. There's no shot. I bet my life on it. There's no shot she's ever turned down a billionaire in her life. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Not even for sex. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Girls have options, and the sexual marketplace is globalized. So I get what you're saying. Oh, well, he had money status. Why did she take him? Well, she's in a position where she could disqualify him because he wasn't charming and attractive enough.
So we all agree.
Exactly.
We all agree
with a broke dude.
The only one
She's
that
like,
can we all agree that it's not just biology then. We've all agreed to that. It's
No,
not just biology.
I think status means different
You
things.
just described 3 other things.
Stop. But it is biology because money, status, physical height, strength, personality, charisma, charm. These are things that women are hardwired to look for. It is biology.
Yeah, exactly. No, Myron's right. Because the difficulty here is that women, what we're saying is women are attracted to status, okay? But status can mean different things. So you've got the sort of paradigm, you've got the cliche of the rich woman who, you've got the cliche of the rich woman who has sex with a pool boy while her husband's at work earning millions of dollars or whatever. Why does she pool boy? Is it because he's not a billionaire, but he might be physically very attractive, he might have that kind of charisma, he might have that bad boy sort of panache and aplomb about him, which women also find attractive. So there are different definitions of status that can apply at different points.
So you're saying, okay, I think I understand where we're at now. You're saying, oh, women experience attraction. That's biology. But what they're attracted to can be different things depending on the woman, which means that it's not biologically the same for all women, because some women might be more biologically attracted to a really high charisma, while some women might be more biologically attracted to a higher income.
Yeah, but no woman's biologically attracted to a guy who does the housework.
That's
a completely separate point from what she's saying.
No, it's not.
How are you guys so autistic about sex, man? You make it boring. I have an inverted boner right now. It's just going.
You turned down 2 billionaires.
What's crazy is y'all so happy statistically we had 11 females on the panel and y'all two the only that aren't in agreement with every other female. We're talking about what females want and then men are telling you what men want.
Zena, be respectful.
I'm sorry, but we have other women on this panel and nobody's agreeing with you. Literally, nobody's agreeing.
Is it like it's like 4 women versus like 2? I mean,
hard-headed. You're right. This is not the majority. This is not the majority.
It's college.
It's like winning.
It's why college is woke indoctrination. College turns girls into feminists, into leftists, to brainwash them with these ideas. Even though you are extremely educated, it's proof that college is just a woke indoctrination camp.
They're feminists, but they're the definition of a woman. Hard-headed. You gotta tell them they're right. Am I right? Who has been married to a woman? Males. Or in a relationship with a woman.
Well,
I'm talking to the males. Right? That when you gotta win the argument by saying she's right. You're right, babe. You're right. And the bitch is wrong.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay,
what do you want to address?
I want to address Zena's earlier point. No, because she was saying statistics, and I
was mocking Shadi over here. He kept saying statistics, and you still things talking about.
Okay, well, because I honestly, and I don't mean to be condescending. It's gonna come off condescending. I don't know if you guys understand how statistics work.
I do actually. Like I said,
you know what we understand.
When I was 14. Street smart.
Oh no.
I'm not trying to be. Yeah, I'm not trying to be condescending. But you're saying, oh, look at all the women in this panel, look at all the men. Like you see, they're disagreeing with you. Blah blah. There is something called selection bias when it comes to statistics.
She's gonna bring up
this whole idea that when you get a sample size of people, if you don't try to make it random, there's going to be a bias in who you select, right? So right now, being like, oh, all the people in this panel, that's not actual statistics. That's not valid statistics. What you'd have to look at is a random sample size. Because look at us, we're all in Miami, right? We're not all over the U.S. population, anything like that. We're all hot girls from Miami and 3 guys.
So what are you disputing in particular with this election bias person?
Okay, I'm disputing the fact that Zena's saying, oh no, like you should take into account everybody here. Look, they're telling you something opposite, blah 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 blah. I'm not saying that people's own experience doesn't come into account with what they believe. I'm saying that you'd actually have to look at actual statistics if you're going to make a claim about what the majority of people believe.
You quoted 2 statistical studies, but you didn't have the sample size. I'm not trying to be pedantic here, but you know, you've got to, you can't just say, oh, the statistics say this, so therefore that's an irrefutable proof. You've got to drill down into the methodology. What was the methodology? What was the sample size? What was the
I like how he says that for her, but he didn't ask the sample size of any of Myron's studies. He didn't ask for the methodology of any of Myron's studies. And sample size is, to be quite honest, it's like one of the least important. I fucking cringe every time he used to fucking ask that shit. Sample size is probably one of the least important aspects of a study to find out if it was a good study or not.
That's absolutely valid and fair. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. I just disagree with the idea that like, oh, you see, the majority of people on this panel think this one thing, that means it's the truth. Like that's what I want to push against.
Okay, well, again, what is it that you are saying that there's election bias specifically that you are against? I'm asking you, what is it specifically?
She's trying to claim that we're outliers here on this panel. Undoubtedly, we are. Clearly, y'all are in more ideological agreement than we are.
Give us specifically what it is that makes you the outlier. I don't care about the girls on the table. What makes you outliers from women in general? Because you guys don't agree that the panel.
Outliers from this panel.
Okay,
right?
well,
I don't think most women think that men are logically superior.
Yeah.
You don't think that?
No, I don't think most women think, oh, men are logically the best people, like logically superior than me. I think most women would say we're equal.
If I asked 100 women in general, would you prefer a male surgeon or a female surgeon? Most of them will probably elect with a man. If I asked a girl,
I mean, it's
would
very
you prefer-
convenient that you can just make up like, oh, if I ask 100 women or whatever, I'm sure they're gonna agree with me. Like I could say the same thing and throw it back at you. I could ask 100 men,
I mean, here's
and
the
I'm sure they're
thing.
gonna agree
But
with
you
me.
gotta use a little. But here's the thing. This is where common sense comes in, and this is where I wish. This is why so many people from the left, I guess, don't have common sense at all. Most
You're saying
women.
your feelings. You're
No,
saying common sense is your feelings.
This is not my feelings. This is common sense understanding that when there's danger afoot, or something critical needs to be done, or there's a high pressure situation, they want the man there, not the woman. If the house is burning down, you don't want two feminists coming in that identify as they, them, coming in and pull you out. You want a toxically masculine guy that says on Saturdays, we're talking to the place drinking beers. You want him pulling you out the fire. When you're getting robbed, you don't want two feminists showing up that call themselves Susie and Kristen that identifies him, her, them,
When
and
I'm in
them.
a fire, I
You
want
want a
firefighters.
toxically
When I'm getting
masculine
robbed,
man.
I want law enforcement. I don't
My point is, when push comes to shove, life or death, high pressure situation, women almost always want men in this driver's seat taking care of the situation. Because why? Men are superior when it comes to operating under pressure. They're superior when it comes to dexterity. They're superior when it comes to decision making when it comes under pressure. This is why men dominate in video games, where there's no physical difference. Chess, etc. Men dominate when it comes to deductive problem solving. It is a fact, and everything you see around the world nowadays was invented by a man that is more logically sound and rational. Simple question. If those two girls that got kicked off the panel for being irrational and knocking on the door, if you had to go call the police because she started getting reckless, would you rather a female police officer come or a male police officer?
If they have a gun, who the f cares?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter to you?
No, not if they have a weapon
What
on
do you think?
hand.
Would you rather have a male police officer come or a female police officer? To come and handle the situation, two drunk girls being obnoxious.
The gender of the law
It doesn't
enforcement
matter?
officer doesn't
Okay, the
matter.
rest of the girls?
A man.
You gotta be careful. You have to identify why these are bad questions instead of answering this. Like, you obviously you prefer a man to show up, right? You kind of just, that's like a gimme. You kind of have to just give that one.
Stop real quick. If gender doesn't matter, then you know what? Why don't we have more women in the military? Because everyone has guns.
I didn't say gender didn't matter. I just said in this specific
No,
hypothetical.
I said in that specific circumstance, if a police officer comes here, that's very different than an entire military of people. And again, I never said
They have guns. The same shit. People would die. All right, so it's all right. People would die in the military.
All things equal. Okay, let's say all things equal. Everyone has a gun. Do you want a male police officer show up or a female police officer?
Do y'all know the percentage difference between male officers that pull out the guns and actually use it versus female?
That's not
Please tell me
necessarily
you know
a
it.
good
Please
thing.
tell me, because you said if she said if y'all had guns, it doesn't
That's
matter. So I just want to know. I just want to know. She brought it up, so I want to know.
Worship is destroying the
Wait,
weapon.
wait, wait, wait.
I don't want cops that
She said if they have a gun, their gender doesn't matter.
The reason why I bring this
to
up.
enforce the law, so long as they're an armed officer of the state and they have a gun. It doesn't matter if it's a female law enforcement officer or a male law enforcement officer. If that person came into the room, they have the command of this room.
No, they don't.
They have the back end to
Nobody
say-
respects a female police. Are you going to arrest me?
You would
should
respect
respect
a female police
You
officer
would
with a gun, really.
100. I'm running away.
Shit, you're running. I got
That's
a
why you asked me.
You don't show that to cap your ass. When you're in the
can't-
commission of crime,
He just said he ran away from her, so that kind of proves a point, right?
Ladies, you can't shoot a suspect from running away from you. You can't do that.
I mean, legally, you're not supposed to do that. Physically, of course, you're capable of doing that, right?
And women police officers are far more likely to pull a gun out and get involved in issues than men because they're not as physically capable of dealing with it.
Okay.
Clown world. I mean,
I don't even know.
just argue to
That's
argue.
true. He is a
That's true.
teacher.
I used to work in law enforcement. Women are far more likely to pull out their guns because they're not as physically as capable as dealing with the perpetrator.
Right. We never disagreed on like how if men are physically stronger or not. Like I'm not talking about physicality.
Yeah,
here.
you have an issue with the rationale.
No, yeah, no. What I
And
have an issue with is that you guys keep saying like, oh, you see, like men are so much superior, et cetera, and yet you bring these,
Superior in certain things.
okay, superior in logic, superior in. Can you list the?
I'm listening.
Okay, no, I was going to make the list again.
Oh, okay. Logic, decision making, rationality, decision making.
Yeah, you're saying like you already demonstrated like the ways in which women are superior to men. You don't even find to be important.
No, they
because
are
you don't
important.
value those
No,
characteristics.
No, regardless of that, right? And then to prove your point, what you're doing is that you're using these exceptional circumstances to say, oh no, men in general are more logical, right? How often is your house burning down? How often is a police officer knocking on your door? Not very often, right? So to me, I think it's really weird to take like these exceptional circumstances and say, oh, that's proof that men on average are more logical.
Stop. The reason why we have to use exceptional circumstances is to show you that men are exceptionally better than women at said circumstances.
Have you guys lived
That's
with
why
a
we
man?
have to do it that way. Because for you to understand that men are more rationally, logically, and deductively solved than women is because I have to give you these examples so you guys understand when it comes to life or death, what are you picking? I need to be able to get a clear-cut answer. So men, here's the thing. I'm not saying women aren't capable. The problem is that you guys are listening, but you're not understanding. I'm not saying women aren't capable. I'm saying if I had the two options, the superior option is almost always the man when it comes to deductive problem solving, rationality, logic, and emotional control.
So you would choose a male officer, first day on the job, rookie dude with a gun to protect you over a veteran who is.
It's the average person. It's just, you're just arguing nothing right. It's the average.
The reason why the cop thing doesn't support their argument, you would rather choose the male cop, but you've already given on physicality. But that's not what you're arguing about right now. You're arguing about who's more rational, who's more logical, right? And they're appealing to, well, who would you choose in terms of a police officer? Police officers are not historically known for their logic and rationality. Police officers are arguably, never mind. You're never picking the most rational cop. That's the point that they should be fighting on. Not trying to argue against this, like, well, who has the gun or whatever, the cop thing. It's just it's a losing argument. But I understand why they're trapped in it. I might get stuck in this too, in this particular example. But you're not like, yeah. Like, if he says, like, yeah, men are leading in rationality and logic and they're better chess players, it's like, okay, well, why the f are we talking about if we choose a male or a female cop?
An example where you're saying I'm picking the dude every time.
Oh, yeah,
Every single time you said you pick the guy, right?
She just argued what she
doesn't matter that she's a veteran officer. She's got 30 years job experience. She has way more training with a firearm.
Like, they're so down this hole now.
Little boy cop.
But she just exposed how gay.
He's younger. Hold on. I'll tell you what. He's younger. No. It's very rational because I come from that field. He's younger. He's more gung ho. He's stronger. He's more physically capable. Women on the job for 30 years. Men are less likely to pull out their guns in a physical confrontation because they can actually deal with a suspect versus a woman is not.
Okay,
a woman with 30 years experience as a police officer is old and fat at this point.
I have no idea the circumstances by which a woman this female officer would be withdrawing her gun. It's the ingrained biases literally would change the way that interaction would play out.
You asked me a question. You didn't think about it logically and rationally.
I think I did, but
you did it because you named a woman who's physically inferior, fatter, older, etc., versus a young rookie who's far more physically capable.
I'm framing as more experience.
You said 30 years experience.
Okay, but let's
30 years experience makes her 50 years old. To be a police officer, you typically have to be between 18 to 21.
Let's talk about y'all experiences. Hold up, let me
Do you think that a woman in her 50s can't be physically fit?
No.
Oh God, no. No, that's not what you wanted. That's not. That ain't it.
Compared to a young rookie cop.
Do you think a man in his 50s can be physically fit?
Oh no.
Because we're going through menopause at 50. We are physically impaired at that time. Like, what are you talking about? Right. Let's talk about experience, real life situation, not statistics.
It's also, I bet it's also harder for them because, like, as much as I shout or scream, I do try really, really hard to engage in good faith. They're probably not used to getting, like, actually Thunderdomed like this. Because I don't know if I've ever actually Thunderdomed either of these people before.
About the male species, okay?
Just relax. The reason that they're able to argue these points is because we don't live in a dangerous society anymore. Violence never really comes up in college campuses.
Then why were y'all earlier in the conversation bringing up that men are more likely to be the victims of violent crime when they go outside?
Right,
now you're likely to say, well,
the reason that woke feminists and she-days exist is because we are in a world where our gender roles matter less because there's more equal opportunity. As soon as we revert to our gender roles, if we're all on an island and it's a bunch of us, who's going to be the one who's going to start the fire?
Yeah, exactly. You have to think of exceptional circumstances that don't exist in developed modern countries.
And the point is that we know that biology matters, and you're trying to act like we just live in this autistic fucking...
I'm not saying, I never said biology doesn't matter.
The only reason you're able to make, ladies, the only reason you're able... the only reason, the fact that you even tried to argue with me that a woman that's 50 years old is as physically capable as a young man that's a rookie police officer
shows me
that's quite literally what she said.
That is literally not what she argued. She said, she never said anything about, no, what she literally said, and let's be clear here, is she said, oh, a 50-year-old woman who is more experienced versus a 20-year-old rookie. She's not saying, oh, the woman is more physically superior. She never said any of that.
I granted you that a 50-year-old woman is probably not physically superior to a rookie cop, but I'm saying that there are skill sets in her.
But then you literally verbatim said, and you think a 50-year-old man is more physically capable. That's
no. She said, do you think a 50-year-old man can be fit? And they said,
anybody can be fit. So you said a man in his 50s can be physically fit.
But somehow a woman in her 50s
a woman in her 50s can be
no, that wasn't the question that you asked. So what you did was...
Context matters, ladies. Here's the thing. Yo, you got, like, here's the context. Would you prefer a young rookie cop coming in a dire situation, or a woman who is trained with 30 years experience, and me using my deductive problem solving and my rationality and logic? I know 30 years on the job automatically puts her around 50 years old. So I know she's not going to be as physically capable of actually dealing with a perpetrator as the young guy. So that's why when you said, I was literally listening to you very closely. That's why I'm able to answer it to this degree. That's what I said, right? That's why I said automatically the young guy, and I didn't even think twice about it because I knew 30 years on the job, regardless of her firearm training, regardless of her experience, regardless of her time on the job, the man is going to be superior to her in this degree because when it comes to police, when it comes to a dire situation, physicality matters. Now, then you go ahead and say, well, does that mean that a 50-year-old woman can't be fit?
No,
and I said,
physicality trumps everything.
When it comes to policing and dealing in a life or death situation, I want the physically fit guy every time.
I want a person who's more capable with handling a gun.
Okay, have you let him finish? This is his panel.
I'm telling you,
always need a gun to
regardless. Yeah, you don't always need a gun to defuse a threat. As a matter of fact, they teach you in law enforcement. In a law enforcement situation, they actually teach you to defuse the threat at the lowest level so that you don't have to necessarily escalate and kill someone.
The thing about female cops, I'm pretty sure is true, that a female cop is more likely to draw a gun, and it's probably because they have the less ability to get a handle on a situation without having to resort to lethal force. I'm pretty sure that is true. I feel like I've heard that before.
Exactly, you don't even need physical strength.
Are you gonna let this man talk? Like, Jesus.
You don't need to shoot a gun, but you might need physical strength.
You get the physical strength so that you don't have to shoot them.
Exactly.
So you can actually take them down to the ground.
At this point, you're just talking to the
So what I'm saying is that I prefer the younger guy. And then you said, well, can a woman be physically fit too? And I was like, she can, but not to the same level as a man can. Then you're like, well, what about a 50-year-old guy? Well, if I took a 50-year-old guy, 50-year-old woman, all things equal, that 50-year-old guy more than likely is going to be physically superior to that 50-year-old woman.
Okay, but it wasn't a question of whether or not a 50-year-old man would be physically superior to a 50-year-old woman. He probably would be. Obviously, I agree with you. I'm saying you wouldn't even grant a woman should be physically fit at 50. Now you're saying, oh, well, she can be, but she'd be inferior to a 50-year-old man.
You like hearing yourself talk for real?
None of these females are talking. We have a single super chat. Y'all don't talk about equality.
Don't be disrespectful to them because they haven't been disrespectful to y'all. They haven't been disrespectful to y'all. Just because you disagree with them doesn't mean that you guys can outright disrespect them. Relax.
When I put the girls out the studio, right? Mind you, she wanted to fight all the girls on the panel, but the moment I approached her, she was like, nah, nigga, I'm cool. And I told her, hey, listen, I'm gonna call the cops, right? These guys will get here. She was out within 2 seconds. You girls will sit down on the panel ain't doing shit, all right? So at the end of the day, all right, when the threat of a man is involved, these bitches are out.
They know what's up.
They know what's up, right?
Okay, they're never gonna have kids invest in antidepressants.
All right, the last thing before. Okay, while he pulls up the chats.
Because you said male cops are on their way. You said law enforcement are on their way.
So you guys
are gonna be a man or a woman.
Okay, so you guys have an issue with the point that we made that we said men are more logically, rationally, and logically sound than women and better deductive problem solvers. That's your issue, right?
Yeah, can I explain something?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God, just we take turns. Can we do equality for real? Like,
Okay.
you guys are talking about so much equality, and you guys are not giving anybody the opportunity to talk.
Look, I'm
talking and you guys are interrupting.
Okay, well,
let me finish. I'm not
Well,
done.
let her finish. Start first.
Yeah,
and then
go.
you can
Explain your statistics.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, my problem is that you're using these extreme examples to try to prove your point.
Okay.
And I think that there are, and I know there are, because I've literally, you can make fun of me for reading studies, but yeah, I've read the studies that can make these points in different ways, or don't prove to what you're saying. So for example, who's a more logical thinker or whatever in like stressful situations? There are literally books written about this, about like actually studies done with stress. And guess what? Who's the best people reacting at stress? It's not men, it's not women, it's people who believe that they're good at handling stress. That is literally the #1 indicator of how you're going to perform in a stressful situation. So this isn't, down to biology, it's literally down to how you think you're going to handle stress. So when you say like, oh no, this is all biological, it's going to be this way, it's going to be probably men, probably women, what you're taking, or what it seems like you're not taking into account, is that there's all these other factors, regardless of sex, that actually influence how you handle stressful situations. I would strongly recommend reading the book Upsides of Stress. It goes really deep into this.
Okay, then you know what? You want to talk about women can handle stress better than men in some situations. Why is it that all of the most stressful jobs are dominated by men?
Can you give us
what's an example?
Air traffic controllers, high-level surgeons, okay, police officers, military, all of these high-risk jobs that are very dangerous, by the way, I might add, that women typically don't go into. Why are they dominated by men if women are so good at handling stress?
You're saying it's because men have a natural affinity above women, and that's why, right? That's your explanation.
No, I'm asking you the question.
Oh, Jesus, Aaron's gotta chill on the aggressiveness.
I'm responding to what she said. She's saying women deal with stress better than men in certain situations. And I was like, okay, cool, by that logic, tell me why all the most stressful careers are dominated by men.
She's just saying that women have the capacity to do so in the same way that men do.
A lot of these careers that you're listing, right, are physical in nature.
Air traffic controller is physical? Being a pilot is physical?
I didn't say all, please.
So which is one that's dominated by women? A high stress job.
Honestly, straight up, child rearing.
Yeah.
You don't think raising children is stressful?
Oh, no, that's not that That wasn't the one.
Telling me you never taken care of it.
She should have went with nursing, because holy nursing can be ultra high stress. The hours are insane. The crazy people you have to deal with is stupid. It's a high skilled job. Oftentimes you got to go to school for it. Lots of school for it, depending on if you go for a full RN or not. Nursing would have been the perfect example here.
What did I say at the top of the show? I said that men, right, are more likely to go ahead and chase resources. I said women are naturally lazy.
If you wanted to go with child rearing, honestly, teaching might be an okay one too. Although even that I would want to fight on this show. Teaching would be an acceptable one, but I think that what the fuck did I just say? Sorry, I just read something. Nursing would have been the way better option.
When it comes to chasing resources, they're better at creating life and a family. We agree.
Okay, another word dominated sex work is a majority woman. And guess what? That is an extremely stressful occupation.
Oh, perfect. Can I speak up, Myra? This is the best part. Explain how sex work is such a hard education or hard workforce. Are you in sex work? Because I have OnlyFans, she has OnlyFans. That shit easy, right? You take a picture and you post it, right?
Strippers or prostitutes.
Okay, bitch, I used to be a stripper. I could do a pole dance right now. It's easy as fuck.
Oh, that's easy.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Y'all think raising a child is so stressful? But wait. Why are you guys saying that sex work? It's easy. It's easy. You finesse men. You shake a little bit of ass and you finesse men. I used to dance. It's actually not a stress. It's not stressful. The only thing that's stressful is perseverance.
Extremely physically demanding.
And I am a pole dancer. And I am a pole dancer, honey. And I am a pole dancer. It's not physically engineering at all.
I'm not a stripper, but I've done pole fitness before. You end the night with your legs just covered in bruises.
I've never had a bruise. And I was one of the best dancers in Miami.
You've never had a bruise on your leg and you do pole dancing? I don't believe it. Girls' legs are always fucking bruised to shit. That's such a fucking lie. There's no shot. Now I don't know if she even dances at all. I wonder if she made that whole side story up.
May I please because there's absolutely no way. So you can mount yourself to that pole without getting bruised.
Go.
Oh, shit. I think you said
this is physically demanding. That is my point.
Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, she did it. How does she never had a bruise before? Wait, I didn't even watch it. I guess she does too.
This is way more fun to do.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, there she goes.
I think she displayed that. What she's basically saying is that.
But you have to work hard to do that, right?
Stop trying to justify it. This shit is easy, bro.
Oh man, is Aaron gonna go pole dance now? Oh no.
Get the fuck up there.
It's so easy. Go do it.
No, we were talking about stress.
Oh no.
Okay. It is so physically easy. And men are on average more stronger than women. Get your ass on the pole.
Everybody shut up. Let me tell you why I've not been on the pole for over a year and a half, bitch. Let's get that bitch.
Holy shit. She's so mad.
It's not this. I haven't ridden a bicycle in years. If I got on one right now, I could still do it.
But that doesn't prove guys.
You are debunked.
That doesn't
and you're not a bitch, I'm sorry.
That doesn't prove your point because you were talking about
high
stressful. That's physically demanding, but is it
physically demanding.
Well,
that comes.
Hey, ladies. Number one. Everyone sit down.
That's easy. How many jobs have you
Hey,
Thank you,
hey, everybody shut the hell up. Sit down,
easy to me.
relax, take a breather. Let's reset this. Cena, gather your thoughts, make your point, and then I'm going to let them go ahead and say what they got to say.
So let me gather my thoughts.
And don't be disrespectful. Don't call them a bitch again.
Okay, so I'm going to speak
Don't call them fucking bitches, guys.
Okay. No one here's a bitch. We're all ladies. Sorry. So while I did that, I just displayed that with anecdotal experience. I just displayed it, and I'm telling you, from my own experience, there's nothing that comes easy to me. You're speaking because you're it looks hard. It's not hard. That shit's easy.
I told you I done pole fitness, girl.
Well, our body mass is completely different. Respectfully, can I finish, baby?
No, I'm good.
I never went to training. I don't do training. I never did any of that. Everything that I do is self-taught. It's just easy. It's just easy. It's not. It's incomparable from a man's. Getting on the pole is not the same as a fucking man in like the military, bro. Like,
let me just say. Remember,
most people in the military are paper pushers. Okay, it's not like the average guy is like getting deployed to.
What we were arguing is that men dominate the most stressful jobs, and you went ahead and you brought into sex work. That's where they came in. Did you have something that you wanted to add to that?
Of course, I have a lot of things to say.
All right, go ahead.
You guys are talking about statistics, facts.
right.
How many jobs have you guys had?
Multiple.
Oh no.
Would you like to
Okay,
hear
they
some?
both have had multiple.
Okay.
I do primary education.
How many kids have you guys
had? I've been a babysitter. I've done gig work. I've worked music festivals. I've been a caretaker for a lot of my life, even when I was underage. Yeah.
It's fine. You didn't have
Caretaker
to.
to a physically disabled elderly family member. Yes.
Okay, caretaker. Okay. I've worked in every fucking position you could imagine. This girl, I'm sure she's worked every fucking
Meeting billionaires, doing every single job.
hard job you can imagine.
Okay.
I'm talking about
All
restaurants,
of them. All
like
the jobs.
bartending, bottle girl, stripper, everything.
Chris, man.
But let me tell you,
Jesus.
I've had a child. You guys haven't, and you guys are out here talking about maternity, como si saben. Another thing, you guys are talking about sex work.
Did you think that the
It's
restaurant
so
jobs are
stressful, and you guys have
demanding?
never.
Here, let's let her finish, please.
Y'all probably have like 3 bodies. I don't know. I don't even know if y'all had a boyfriend before. Y'all talking about
What is
male
como si
species.
saben? What does that mean?
Hold
What do you
on,
know?
hold on. Let me fucking finish. Y'all talking about male species. You guys, how much you want to bet y'all have never lived with a man? Y ustedes aquí hablando de hombres. Cuando nunca han cocinado. You guys talking about caregiver.
Hey, there's no need to be disrespectful. Just say your
I'm not being
points and
disrespectful.
you are. Just say your points.
Why?
Don't be a bitch about it.
What's
please.
being a
That's just the way I
caregiver?
talk.
Okay, well, tone it back.
Okay,
a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
try to.
Don't be patronizing to the ladies, man. Like,
Okay,
chill.
what else?
You wrote it
You're
down.
talking all the shit you're
It
not
says
even cooking.
fire. I don't know what that means.
Move on.
Stupid.
Nurses is another example.
Wait, nurse?
Okay.
Yeah, of stressful jobs.
Okay,
RNs.
fair enough.
People like working
My mother was a nurse.
You know
by
what's
the way.
more stressful than being a nurse?
Being a
Oh,
doctor.
you're gonna say doctor.
Yeah. And who's usually the doctor?
Well, again, now we're gonna go back to
Just
circles.
answer it.
Well, yeah, males. Because guess what? Guess who historically couldn't practice?
I don't know if being a doctor is more stressful than being a nurse. Doctors are stressful jobs, for sure. But in terms of like, just like day-to-day levels of stress, I'm not sure. I've heard so many fucking horrible stories about nursing jobs day-to-day, like when you're dealing with all the fucking like upkeep for all the patients, like long-term care, and the hours, the on-call, all of that shit. I mean, I guess I wonder if like attending physicians are doing doing the rounds as much as like nurses and shit are on like upkeep and whatnot. I'm not sure. I don't know. I truly don't know. I haven't had as many like physicians email me and complain about. I haven't heard as many physicians email me and complain about that as I have like nursing people. But
Practice medicine in that
And they
level of
can
field.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
so now you're getting more women doctors.
Yeah, but
well,
that
you
shit
know
is
what? I'm
weird.
really glad that you brought up med school and doctors. Actually, women nowadays, med school is almost 50-50. But overwhelmingly, the people that choose to go into the harder professions when it comes to surgery, anesthesiology, etc., are overwhelmingly men. Women typically go into pediatricians, being a primary caregiver, primary doctor. They want to do veterinary type stuff. They want to do cosmetics. A lot of times they want to do skin dermatology. Men almost always go into the more risky, harder professions when it comes to the medical
I
field.
feel like this is pure cope. So you're saying that
No,
even when it comes to like men and women earning the same credential, both going through med
Okay, I think Myron has to know they're my friends because I'm surprised he didn't bite her head off at that.
school, incredibly difficult.
Yes.
Becoming PhDs, getting an MD.
Yes.
Then you want to break it down to the sector, and you're like, well, they're choosing the easy sectors to being a doctor.
Yes,
Dude, come
they are.
on.
They are. And here's how I know this. There's no studies on this because it would be the most sexist and f***ed up study, and it would never get approved. However, I have
Or
a lot
maybe
of
it's just
friends.
unscientific, but continue.
Oh
Well,
my
I have a lot of
God.
friends that are
She's cutting him off
doctors,
so
and
hard.
overwhelming.
Jesus.
And you know what? How about you could have fun and you could go ahead and look at the registered surgeons. I guarantee you, look at their neurosurgeons, the anesthesiologists, all the professions that are actually high risk. Okay, they're probably dominated by men.
Probably.
Okay, no more.
I guarantee they're dominated by
Let's
men.
go to the chats. They're never gonna agree.
Like, and that is the truth.
If you're
Real
saying
quick.
biology and
That
we're
is the
saying
truth.
neurosocialized,
Please read the
before
chat. Move on. You said that you
Let's read
did
the
restaurant
chats.
work, right?
Yes.
Would you say it was
God.
physically demanding?
Yes, it was.
Oh, what's so hard about,
Oh, what's
just
so
taking
hard?
somebody's orders of no.
No, about standing for 8 hours?
Exactly, girl. It is physically demanding. If you're saying just standing is physically demanding, why the is it spinning on a pole physically demanding?
It's
for
not.
hours and hours on end.
It is.
Oh,
being a
shit.
cop is
I wish
more
we would've thought of that
gave my
before.
No,
opinion
I'm
on
just saying
That would've been a
it's
good
not
one.
as physically demanding as being a cop. I'm simply saying that independently.
Okay,
rather than
so
how
you
being
can
a
Sitting in
cop
this
is
chair and listening to you speak is physically demanding.
That's
Let's read
mentally
the
demanding,
chats,
sweetie,
please.
but yeah.
Let's read the chats,
girls,
please.
it's
If you ain't lived it, don't even think
Sorry.
you're impaired right now.
Let's read the
I'm
chats.
mentally impaired right
Do it
now.
for one, man. Just they don't shut
All
up.
right, super chats.
I'm behind your back.
Purple shirt. Can your elbows touch behind your back?
What that mean?
Can you touch your elbows behind your back?
No, don't, because their poops might pop out. Let's keep going.
It's Rumble though.
Yeah, Rumble doesn't want nudity.
Subscribe.
Is a woman's desire for a taller man also a social construct? Don't take feminist liberal women seriously. Use this podcast to know what they want to hear, then smash them down.
They're gonna tell you about standards, man.
Okay, long live gaming. Why are they trying to deny biology?
Social
That's a good
construct,
question.
woke ideas.
It's a social construct, you bigot.
Shout out to Scarlett.
The managing engineer, the females that are in the field overwhelmingly work less than men. Oh, wow. Okay. And work even less when they become pregnant and yet are paid equally
Citation.
as an overworked
Super chat.
male. Yeah, no, he's saying he's a managing engineer.
Mr. Sheed, 50. And the two most,
I could say
Can
that
you
I'm
let him
managing
speak?
engineer.
Please.
It's very true.
enough of y'all,
And the two most validated emotional control measures, men have lower neuroticism, big 5, and better hot executive functioning, emotion suppression, and charge situation. Do some high
homework,
you dumb holes. So there you go. He's you can argue all you want about social constructs, but gender differences are seen in toddlers. This has been proven. Boys will be more aggressive and play fight and be more protective. This is true as well. Pac Matic goes, women were not oppressed, they were poor. Families made choices to send their son rather than their daughter to be educated. Wealthy women always had access to education in all parts of history. Okay? Mr. Martin, these young 20-somethings believe their indoctrination factory has freed them from the bondage of ignorance, when in fact it has ensnared them entirely. The power of the Matrix. Fair enough. The Who Knox goes, can you guys just put Troy at the panel at this point that we got you already from earlier? Ladies, how can you tell if he's a virgin or inexperienced and how that he's experienced? Oh man, we're beyond that, my friend. Sorrow Terps goes, there won't be no dry as jokes tonight. Okay, thank you, Barbados. Okay, all right. Venom goes,
I could tell.
Must be in the multiverse. Never thought would see a show without Fresh. Is this Sneako and Fit?
Let's go.
Yeah, I guess it's Sneak and Get Fit. Ladies, what's the most real but savage truth you've told another lady? I fucked another guy. Colorado Roughneck goes, pink dress, this tit CC's higher than her IQ.
Wait, what?
I think he said that your tit CC's are higher than your IQ.
If my IQ is low, how do you not know that this is actually purple? I was just about to say.
He's probably colorblind. All right, yo, Sneako, there's a girl on the panel that has been in the chat telling everybody that she's your biggest fan. I see it, bro, but be careful. She's cuckoo.
Yo, shout out to you.
All right.
I hope you're not a she-they.
They both never seem to work out. All right. Cam 2 times. And then Cam 2 times again. What does fat people in modern day relationships have in common? Answer on my next rant. Okay. And that is, who has more rights, men or women, or a truck if they want to?
They can identify as trucks, basically.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Pink girl, the little definition of a bimbo.
What's bimbo?
It means empowered queen.
Wait, no, but for real, what's bimbo? Hey, y'all!
It means a stallion, girl boss.
That's what it means. Continue on. V-Dubs goes, to the blonde, she, they. Who's they, though?
It's a social construct. Gender's a spectrum, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to argue about male and female dynamics for the whole show.
Let her answer. Go ahead.
The truth of the matter is, I'm not a snowflake who gets really upset if somebody calls me him, they, she. I'm not like, oh my god, how dare you call me the wrong pronoun? I don't give a fuck. That's why there's a she, they, and if you want to call me him, I don't. Why would I care? Call me whatever the fuck you want.
You care
I'm
enough
not
to put
a
she they in
snowflake.
your bio.
No, I care enough to signal to people that you can call me what you want. That's
She
what I'm
doesn't
trying
have
to
any
get across.
attachment to her gender.
That's what I'm trying to get across. Call me what you want.
So
I'm
if you
not
didn't
gonna
have any
throw a
attachment to your
tantrum.
gender, why'd you put it in your profile?
I was about to say,
No,
what is
that's
the
a
thing?
it's a signal. If anybody wants to call me whatever, I'm cool with it. Go for it.
Bitch.
Yeah, fuck, I was gonna say, she set us up for that one. Yeah.
Call her anything, but just don't disagree with her because.
No, I love it when people disagree with me.
What do you mean, don't disagree? They've been disagreeable all podcasts. Jesus.
That's what she said. She said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Bro, this. Chris, that was the most biggest thing you've ever done.
You see worse.
Oh my god. Okay, girl next to Mara was definitely invited by Icy.
No,
The girl that got kicked out.
Oh yeah,
I knew
Icy
she was
probably did
there.
invite her.
She was fucking.
Monty 337. Yeah, that girl.
WFNF crew, W Sticko. Come on, I'm in the gym, man. Y'all have changed my life better every day. Ready to join Fatco and Creativity Kit next week.
Yes.
1 out of 1,000, only 1,000 members in the Creativity Kit. Also, shout out Zena, been using her IG to red pill these females. Keep it up, love.
Mo, put Creativity Kit top of the description for Rumble. Guys, get in there.
Already there.
Get in there.
I know
Okay.
man. AJ River, thanks for the 20. Ladies, instead of naming these 3 countries, can y'all name all of the 7 C's?
Oh hell no, nigga. All right.
That's
Big Chief Lifestyle goes, Lico, did you do druggies?
No, get off my dick, bro.
Okay. And then we got, yeah, this shit on us too. Xena, the queen of the panel, but I'm gonna need pink shirts Insta. Okay. It's below
Sova
my friend.
Savage.
Yeah.
Sova Savage.
Stay strong.
It's
Don't
below.
fat. Stay strong on 2020-2023. No fucking beating your meat. No pain for
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
don't simp, guys.
Stop being a simp, pussy.
Retard rating for Myron to Sneeko 710-2066-541.